Information is power. 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 Information is power.
Jackal-egg creatures.
Information is power. I didn't come here to preach to you today. But you know, information when I look at these contestants for the Miss Black Awareness pageant, I feel good. I feel good because I know there's a God somewhere. There's a God somewhere. Turn around, ladies, for me, please. You know there's a God who sits on high and looks down low. Man cannot make it like this. Larry Flint, Hugh Hefner, they can take the picture, but they can't make it. Only God above, the Hugh Hefner on high, can make it for you. If you
You're listening.
Everybody, thank you for being here. I know it's a late evening for a lot of us, but it is a Friday night, so I figure people will be up. I want to say much love to Brenda Johnson, who's in the UK. This is morning time for her. I want to thank everybody that's listening in speaker.com right now. We are radio live. I want to thank Brother Morris Rockwater, who's in the chat room. I want to thank Cherry, who's with us. Sister Love Key. Lovely is in the Sister Lovely is in the chat room. And I'm sure other folks will come aboard at some point in time. I know there's a lot of live streams going on tonight. I know my man Gab Talk Media was doing something tonight with Brother Sheep State TV. And KD84, I was on there for a brief moment. And I know a lot of folks were gathering over on Brother Keith Newsom's platform tonight, too. So I know a lot of the family is scattered about tonight, but I figure some folks will come in and they'll catch it, I would say, on the repeat. I believe that this may be one of my most important presentations that I have had the pleasure and with your support to be able to present to the family tonight. It's about a little bit after 10:30 here in the West Coast, 10:35 where I am, Northern California. And what I'm about to present, I think, is one of the most important things, because we get on a lot of these social platforms and we say, what do? Won't Black people come together? Won't Black people do this to improve our conditions, our living situations where we are in America? Some of us will say, hey, I'm going to leave this place and I'm going to go across seas and live, maybe Africa. I definitely have touted that myself. Then there are those of us that will say, well, wait a minute. My family built this country. Black people built this country. We have a stake in this country. Why would we just pick up and leave when our ancestors put too much sweat equity, too much sweat into this country, whether it be through slavery, whether it be through Reconstruction, Jim Crow laws, Black people trying to find a place for themselves. That's why I believe that this is probably my what's going on, Jalen TV podcast. What's up, my brother? This is a young brother that has a YouTube channel, and he does a lot of gaming. So I'm glad to see the brother come on over and check me out. Mr. Johnson, thank you for being here. I'm sure there'll be a few new people coming in the chat room. We got my man Mike Boxing, Mike Brother Boxing. Let's see, Mike Biggie's Boxing. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. Just like Marlo's Corner, he gives great boxing analysis. You can't go wrong with Mike Biggs Boxing. You've got to get your black behinds over there to his channel and subscribe. Now we got my man. Let me pull this up correctly. Let me pull this up correctly, slide this up so I can name a few people in here. So we got my man Sheep State Sleep TV. Make sure you get your black behinds over to his channel and subscribe. He's got great content as well. What's going on, Ashley D? Thank you for being here. So I know folks will probably come in as they can. I know there's a lot of streams going on tonight. Everyone has their right to pick what they desire to, and to take part in. That's the beauty of this. But where I was going at with this is that we've heard all the different ideologies. Hey, I'm leaving to go to Africa. I'm leaving this country. Things are not working out for black folks in America. Then there are some of us that are saying, hell no, I'm not leaving because my family has too much blood and sweat in this country. I'm sticking it out. I'm going to stay here. That's why I believe this is one of my most important that I've done, because you see, through all our trials and tribulations, black people being in segregation, black folks being told that we were 3/5 human beings, black folks being pushed out to the outer perimeter of society, black folks being like the Invisible Man. Get that book if you've ever read it, or the spook that's set next to the door. We've always been in the situations where we've been pushed out to the outskirts. We've been outcast. That's why black people, we just can't, we're not going to engage in the discussion of immigrants, because the way they've been treated is nowhere near shape or fashion in the same way that black folks have been treated in this country. So our legacy, our history is in the sweat and sweat equity of this country. Black folks have given their lives, as I've said before, in every war that this country's ever had. We have built this country. It was black men that worked on railroad, black men, okay? I know the Chinese played a role in the railroad system, but black men as well. Black people have given their life to this country. Dr. Drew made the blood plasma. And when that brother needed blood plasma for his own life, they did not take him there because the blacks only hospital was too far out. Gary Morgan, the inventor of the stoplights outside. When you drive your car and you stop on red and you stop on green, and then sometimes when you're supposed to yield because the light turns yellow, those are African colors. He picked those colors. Those are in. So whenever you get in your car, think of Brother Gary Morgan, because he's the one responsible for the stoplights that we use outside, but no one gives him much credit today. When you look at Thomas Edison, they say he invented the lights. That's not true. It was a black man that he stole the patent and invention from. So you got to remember, I am going to do a show on black inventors at some point in time. You got to remember, a lot of black men invented a lot of incredible things in the past that we're using today and we take for granted. And a lot of times they didn't get credit for it because they would not give patents to black inventors, woman or man. And a lot of times they would have to use white colleagues to get their patents. And a lot of times those patents would go in the name of those white colleagues. So that's why there's a lot of things that were invented that were not actually invented by the individuals that you think they were, which were Europeans. It was invented by black folks. So these are the reasons why black people feel sort of like grounded here, that, hey, this is our country too, because We've made inventions that have saved people's lives. We have built housing. We have built our own communities. We have built in a way of life and our own culture here in America. Even if that was a life that was based on being segregated. And as we went through segregation into integration, some would say that integration was a big mistake. We should have never engaged in going into immigration, because Black people, we lost out on the fact that we lost the Black businesses that we had. And there are some that will argue and say that it was only a few Black people who were owning Black businesses. It wasn't the whole of us. And so therefore, Black people integrated into white society because we didn't really have much in our society. Now, you can make an argument that that's either false or true, because we have examples of Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street community there. You have Rosewood, which was a thriving Black community in Florida that was destroyed by white mobs, because there was a story that a white woman had said that she was raped by a Black man. But then there's also stories that they wanted any excuse that they could get to destroy Black communities at that time. And to this very day, do you know that Black people who owned that land, most of the survivors of Rosewood are not alive? I think there were 2 that were alive that were in their 90s, maybe even their hundreds. And to this day, Black people have not gotten that land back. That land has been taken over by the usual suspects. See, I told y'all we got to talk in code. We have to be coded in our language. If you want to keep your YouTube channels, and I definitely want to keep mine, we got to talk in code. That's just the bottom line. And when I have panels and I bring people on, I'm going to remind people to talk in code, because we got a target on our back. We got to keep that in mind. So Black people have paid a heavy price in this country, whether it be in the wars, the building of this country. Black people have given a lot of their sweat equity, their sweat time, their energy, and as well, we worked this country. We were in over 500 years of slavery, in which Black people worked sundown to sun up in this country with only Sunday off. And a lot of times they gave Black people Sunday off to use as a way to indoctrinate us with these religions. If you want to know why we have Sunday off, that was the day that they wanted to use to indoctrinate you, especially with the slaves. They want to use that to indoctrinate. I've got some interesting audio that I'm going to bring forth to the family by a sister named Karen Hunter. She's a radio host on Sirius XM, and she had some best of, and I've heard some audio with an interview with Francis Crescent Welsing. I'm going to pull that audio up for a video that I'm going to create for you. I'm going to present to you a doctor who did extensive research on the slave trade, and that's why Kanye West was a plum buck food when he said that Black people made slavery a choice. He doesn't know history. Do you know in the ship Amistad, the Africans that came over that were from West Africa, there were many slave revolts on the ship, and they also stated that there were many Black people that died before they even got on the ship, which means they didn't want to get on the ship. They gave up their lives to get on the ship. They gave up their lives to fight not to get on that damn ship. And that the reason why there were a lot of slave revolts, because a lot of the Amistad, the Africans, a lot of them were warriors. So when they captured a lot of them were already trained in warfare. And so they said, the doctor was saying that to understand the slave revolts that took place before they got on the ship and on the ship, you have to understand West Africa and the different tribes and the warriors that they captured. Because remember, when they went to Africa, they only took the best, the strongest. And these were warriors, which they engaged in slave revolts. They even said that the slavers at some point in time would put nets around the ships to keep the slaves from jumping overboard to their death, because they said that the truth of the matter is they would put barriers up to keep slaves. So they would make it difficult, if you were in a slave ship, for you to be able to kill yourself by jumping overboard because they realized that slaves were willing to do that. They rather die than be a slave. And so that would happen. So Black people never wanted to be no damn slave. Kanye West needs to take himself back to school and learn something. Learn true lessons of life, because he doesn't have it. He does not have it. Black people did not take anything laying down. So through that slave trailer, through the Middle Passages, many Black people died. I think the count was, they think there was probably 13 million, not to mention another more million that might have died just trying to get them on the damn ship. And a lot of times through history, they said that they did not, because the slaves, our people, our ancestors were seen as commodity. A lot of times they didn't want damage to us, because that mean a drop in profit. So we were a profit. In some cases, they didn't want us to be damaged goods. That's the hell of a price that we paid in America, that we were once seen as damaged goods or as property, as 3/5 human beings. And then from that way, you had from slavery, and I spoke about this before, Black folks came out of slavery into Reconstruction, in which we became sharecroppers. And sharecropping was just another economic way to keep us slave to the actual land that we were slaves on, by giving us our first credit. And credit is the worst thing that could have ever happened to Black people. If you look at many Black communities across the country over the years, where you had Black communities like Harlem, New York, the Fillmore in San Francisco, which was the Harlem of the West Coast at one time, and I lived there. Black people were introduced with credit, and credit was the worst thing that could have happened to us, because we were always a people that believed in saving our money and only spending what you had to spend, not to go into this credit, which is why we're in such debt that we are today, that we brought into this system. So Black people were about saving their money and looking for their own land, their own place to call home. And we have to realize that we never got the 40 acres and a mule. At one point in time, we were told that we would get the 40 acres and a mule, and it never happened. Black people were pretty much lied to. It never happened. We were bamboozled. And we're still looking for that 40 acres and a mule. Now today in modern times, we say to ourselves, why haven't we gotten reparations? And you have to ask yourself, do we deserve reparations? Hell yes. Are we going to get reparations? Last time I checked, Elijah McCummings, the one thing I will give him credit for, even though he was crying and buck dancing for another group that has nothing to do with Black issues, he tried to put the issue of reparations on the table. Before something can become law, they have to put it into committee. Do you know that this country that we as Black people have fought for, that our ancestors, our grandfathers, and their fathers' fathers have fought for every goddamn war, this country that we have built with our bare hands, this country that we got whipped over our backs for? That's where the word cracker comes from. It comes from the cracking of the white man's whip, when they would whip us on our back. That's where the term comes from, cracker, not crack it up, the cracker that you eat, the cracking of the slave masters or the overseer's whip. So all those years that we were whipped, all those years that we were mistreated through Grim Crow and no dogs of Black people need to apply, all those years that they made us go into separate but not equal schools, they make us drink out of the dirty water fountain, and they give us the worst books, the worst educational systems. Black people still made a way. We still made a way. We're still standing. So anytime someone says to you on these YouTube airways or anywhere that Black people cannot make it, that there's too much against us, that they have too much technology, you need to walk away from them completely, because they have lost their mind and they have taken on a mindset of a slave and a mindset of someone that can't lead you, and they can't even lead themselves, let alone lead someone, because there's too many examples in our society through the years that show that Black people are resilient. We've always been resilient. We'll continue to be resilient. You just have to believe in yourself. Get out of these I know we use social media to communicate, but it seems today that the more social media that we have, the more disconnected we truly are. because we need to really connect with each other on a more personal level. Call people on the phone, call them more than you text them. Let people know in your family that you love them. I just happened to, unfortunately, get bad news today that an uncle of mine just passed away. He had been battling diabetes over the years. He wasn't in the best of health. He was already in a nursing home, and the diabetes is killing Black people. It's literally killing us. We've got to eat better. We've got to exercise. We've got to be about it and stop talking about it, because we're dying through the environment that we live in, dealing with racism 24/7. As I told you, Dr. Francis Wilson Cressing stated that racism, white supremacy is a 24-hour system that never stops. It turns like a merry-go-round. And Black people are impacted by that, plus our poor diet, which equals what? Hypertension, heart disease, overweight, and diabetes. So definitely, you've got to watch yourself, because we're not promised anything. And definitely, if you don't take care of your health, we all can do better as it relates to our health. So keep in mind that Black people are resilient. We can create legacies. I know we spend a lot of time talking about what's wrong with us. We spend a lot of time talking about what Black people don't have. What's our problems? Why can't we work together? Why is it that we have issues with heart disease? Why do we have this? Why can't we do this? Where's the Black businesses? Make sure you support Black Junction TV. Let's stop talking about it. I've been on Black Junction TV. I've made my donation of $10 a month to Brother Yusef's channel to upgrade my channel on there. You can also give them donations. Even if you don't have content, you can go over there and donate. Why don't you do that? Because we talk about having a Black platform, and yet we got one. Now, what I've noticed since I've been over to Black Junction TV, I don't see a lot of the familiar Black YouTubers over there. I see a few sprinkle of people here and there. I know Phil of the Advice Show is over there, Lisa, True Royal Family, a few folks. There's some folks that are over there. J Dog's over there. I urge you all to get your Black behinds over there, because this is the thing. Why is it that we can turn around and make a platform like YouTube that isn't even Black owned? We can make YouTube very popular. We can pop it off and we can blow it up and make them a lot of money. Why are we not willing to do that for a Black platform? There's no excuse. My prediction is that if Black Junction TV does not blow up like it should, we have no one to look at but ourselves for its failure or for its success. I'm going to repeat that again. Black people, we have no one to blame for the success of Black Junction TV, its success or its failure, but us, because it's for us, by us. So therefore, we should support it and recognize the power that we can give it, just like we give it to YouTube. I hope everybody in the chat room understands where I'm coming from with this diatribe I'm on right now. I think it's very important to recognize that if possible. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this what you see on the screen right now fits into the narrative of what I'm talking about. Black people will always make a way for ourselves when necessary. We will make a way for ourselves. I want to welcome in Exposing Fake Pro-Black. Brother, that was a powerful conversation we had over there. And I do agree with you. There is human nature. People do things. You never know what people are going to do given the circumstances that they are in. But that was a powerful discussion. We've got Real Aaron Collins coming in. Thank you for being here. And we got King Hebrew. for coming. I thank you for coming in too, brothers. Much needed. And we got Ron James that just came into the house as well. Welcome, brother. All of you are welcome. So I've been on a diatribe right now, but what everything that I was saying prior to what I'm about to present to you tonight is a shining example of why Black people, when we put ourselves together, we come together in unison, we have a vision, we have a goal, we can do great things. Now, what you see before you right here, I asked that question, what is the oldest town in America? And it turns out that the oldest town in America is what you see on the screen there. Eatonville, 1887. The town that freedom built, 1887 is the slogan that they go by. What I'm presenting to you tonight is that it is reality when Black people come together. You see, Eatonville is the oldest Black thriving town, city and I said city, Black town. I didn't say Black community. I said city, town. So that I'm not saying it's just some little small little portion of some little small little neighborhood where it's just a neighborhood where Black people live. We're talking about a complete, admissible town that's been incorporated. It's the first Black community to be incorporated into a city. It's been around since 1887, Eatonville, which is in Orange County in Florida, which exactly is Orlando, Florida. Now, I had a chance tonight to talk to Keith on his show tonight. I called in. You hear me quite a bit calling in. And I talked to Brother Lance, who had a show too. I will be bringing Brother Lance to the platform very soon. We've been connecting with each other. And basically, I asked Keith, because he lives in Florida, what do you know about Eatonville? Is it a town of Black men that are compromising, or is it a town of strong Black people? He told me he didn't know because, you know, Florida is a big ass state. And hell, that's true because I live in California, and there's places in California that I've never been or heard of. So it's very possible the brother didn't know much about it. It's in Orlando, Florida. Now, what he did tell me, that Orlando, Florida, where this place is located, is that it's very gentrified in Orlando. But this is a town that is not, as far as I know, it is not a gentrified town. Now, I'm sure, because we just can't get away from the usual suspects, I'm sure that the usual suspects are trying to integrate themselves into this community. I'm sure the usual suspect just can't get away from us because they feel that they own us, the usual suspects. So you got to speak in code, folks. Usual suspects. But from what I've been able to gather and pull up in my research, this is a thriving Black town. They just made 130 years, my Black people, 130 years. So this is a Black community that has been around for over 30 years into Reconstruction. So this is another example of Black people who came out of slavery. They pulled their resources together, what little they could, as they start to build themselves in Reconstruction. They came together. It was 27 Black men who chartered and forged a way to build this city. If our ancestors could do this in a time when there was Jim Crow, in a time when Black men were being hung by trees like strange fruit, Billie Holiday, there is no excuse for Negroes in the year 2018, 21st century, to be saying, I don't know what we can do. We can't do this. I don't know. There's no reason for we as Black men to be asking our Black women what the hell to do when we are the ones that should be leading them. These 27 Black men who founded and built Eatonville, which is in Orlando, Florida, an incorporated city on the map. If they could do this, there's no reason why Negroes in America, in this part of America, whether it be California, or other parts of the South cannot have their own. And this place still, of all the gentrification that's going on, and even Keith told me that Orlando, Florida in general has been gentrified, but here is a Black community that is maintaining its integrity for over 130 years. I had a chance to look at I'm going to show you everything tonight. Look at their website. Their council members, all Black. The mayor, Black. The council members are Black. The community is Black. They have their own damn library. They have their own damn museum. They have their own damn planning commissions. They have their own damn schools for the kids. They have their own newsletters. They have every goddamn thing that a damn city would have. Every damn thing. This ain't no South Central LA or some Compton where they're gentrifying us or some place like that. This ain't no, this is not a place like Oakland. Oakland is a Black city in terms of Black people occupy the damn place, but we don't own nothing in Oakland. Even Atlanta, you got Black folks in Atlanta, but they don't really own anything. They don't really own Atlanta. You got a few prominent Black people in Atlanta that own some stuff, but I'm talking about as far as wholesale. The Black folks in Eaton, Ville, Florida, they own their own damn community. So anytime somebody tells you that Black folks can't do this and Black folks can't do that and Black folks, all we can be is athletes and all we can be is entertainers, tell them to kiss your you-know-what where the sun don't shine. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that you got some of the usual suspects that are trying to move up in there because, you know, they always want to keep an eye on what Black folks are doing. I hope everybody in the chat room is getting what I'm talking about. This is about self-empowerment. If they could do this back in 1887, can you imagine what Black folks were going through in 1887? That wasn't even turn of the century yet. I mean, it was damn near getting close to that, but wasn't it? I mean, can you imagine? If they can do it, why is it that we can't do that today? We talk about how we need to have our own. Why couldn't we buy land, go somewhere and get a plot of land and build a community like Eatonville? If we pulled our resources together. I'm just saying this hypothetically, couldn't we do that as Black people? I know we have people who buck dance amongst us and are not our friend. We see who they are. We see them in mass media, and they're also in our family, and they're also in our circles. We have to do away with them. That just means we have to get away from them. That's all. I don't think it's necessary to say a whole bunch of woofing and, oh, we got to take their lives. It's not about taking nobody's lives. Hell, I'm not trying to go to jail. That's foolishness. Just get away from them. Neely Fuller Jr. says, if you're around someone and the conversation is non-constructive, you get away from them and you build your own. Okay? Now, let me educate you to a few things about Eatonville. It's a beautiful town. Eatonville, it was founded in 1887. They go by the nickname, the town that freedom built. It was incorporated on August 15th, 1887. It was one of the first self-governed all-Black municipality in the United States. Such towns were often created because of local towns and county police forces refusing to protect Black communities. The population, currently the population in 2010 was 2,159 people. This was in 2010. You can extrapolate that currently this is 2018. The population growth has probably increased as Black people have discovered this place and have decided to move to Eatonville. Okay, now, have any of you ever heard of an author named Zoe Neal Hurston? She grew up in Eatonville which she's featured in many of the stories in 1990. The town founded by the town founder, Zoe Neal Hurston Museum. So they have a museum that's founded to this woman. I'm going to show you photos of her. I'm going to bring up some illustrations of a few things. Okay. So let me, by the way, I'm going to start, let me pull this down here and go into, boom. Let me go right over here to, boom. This is my little map right here. So I hope everybody can see that. So this is a little map right here of the state, and see where it's red. Where it's red, that's where Eatonville is located in Florida. It's in the Orlando area of Florida. I hope all can see that. This is the oldest Black community in America and still remains. So that's the little map right there. That's the nice little piece of land that they've got there. And they still have some of the historical buildings that still remain there when the founders of the town, the 27 Black men. I'm going to go on here to read more. Let me see. Artist Julius Andrew Smith has done a series of paintings depicting the life in Eatonville during the 1930s and 1940s. 12 of these works are at the, let me see here. They're at the Meadowland Art Center. Okay. So this is a very striving town. Eatonville is a town in Orange County, Florida, United States, 6 miles north of Orlando. It is part of the Orlando Kingsman Municipality statistical area. The town includes, wow, this is very interesting. So let me, what I wanted to show you here. These buildings right here, they haven't messed with them. They're going to probably do some renovations from what I understand. These are just the buildings that were the first buildings that the founders, the 27 Black men who founded this community. So I was looking at a video, and these are they're going to do some restoration to these areas, to these houses that you see here. This is the sister right here, who is a famous member of the community. That's Zoe Neal Hurston. She is a famous author. And what I did when I found out in my research is that they had entertainment centers in Eatonville. You had the great Billie Holiday, Langston Hughes. You've had a lot of great, well-known Black people, Count Basie, all the great bands at the time, Cat Calloway, all these beautiful bands at the time. They all made their way to Eatonville when they performed, because, you know, one of the historical facts in this country is that when you had Black entertainers, a lot of times they could not entertain in the regular white clubs. They had to go to where Black people lived. Some people call it the Chitlin circuit, right? And so Black people went to Black communities to entertain Black people because of how racist the society was that we live in. This is the museum after her, as you can see right there, Zoe Neal Hurston, the National Museum of Fine Art. So that's a museum inside there that they made to her honor. And this is right here, one of the town halls in Eatonville. This is a town hall where they have many meetings and discussions about various workings in the city. And so that's a little map right there. I hope everybody can hear me. What's going on, Macom? Welcome to the chat room. Welcome, everybody. Let me go over here to this little right here and bring this up here. So there's some historical facts. Let me see. A post office opened at Eatonville in 1889 and closed in 1918. While sources seem to disagree on the exact date and year of the town incorporation, The town's official site provides a detailed account of the process and the date according to that office source. The town is named Joseph C. Eaton. So it's named after Joseph C. Eaton. Let's click here. Who was Joseph? I don't know if it's going to let me. I don't think it's going to let me open that up too much. I'm going to leave that alone. Joseph C. Eaton is one of the founders. One of the smallest groups of white. Let me see. Okay, not the founder. Let me correct myself. Let me see right here. The town is named after Joseph C. Eaton, one of the smallest groups of white landowners who willing to sell. Okay, so they named it after this guy because he was willing to sell them the land. So what happened is that out of the 27 black men, they brought the acre of land. So this guy was willing to sell them the land. He was willing to sell sufficient land to African Americans to incorporate as Black Town. So I guess that's a little history. That's why they name it Eaton, out of respect to this man allowing them or selling them the land. So keep in mind, you got to keep this in mind, because I know some people are going to say, well, we can't be dependent on white folks and all that kind of stuff. Keep this in mind. This is in the 1800s. So black people had we think we don't have any power today. They had no power whatsoever. So they had to deal with white people because they owned most of the land in this country, and they still do. So this guy was willing to sell them the land, and from that land, they made a community. Now that's the key thing I need you to understand. They made a community out of something for themselves. Eatonville Historical District was designated as it added to the National Registry of Historical Places. So on February the 3rd, 1998, the district is bound by, okay, so Eatonville is considered a historical city. It's been given that designation. So not only is it a thriving black community that's been on this planet for 130 years in Florida, in Orange County, Florida, which is in Orlando, but it now has been given a historical status, which means technically that anytime you give something a historical landmark status, you can't tear it down. It can't be, blighted when they want to take over. So if it has that status, then the community, to a certain degree, has some sort of protection on it. Doesn't mean that something couldn't change in the future. You know what these politicians, they always changing the laws around, especially when it does not benefit us. Okay. So let me look at them. This is a demographic chart right here. In the 1900s, there was 125 people. 1905, 150 people. 1910, 108 people. 1915, 122 people. So as you can see, going right on down here, as the years go on and on, the population decreases. You see you can see that the population has fluctuated over the years. But in 1960, 857 people lived there. Then it jumped up to 2,024 in 1970. 1980, it went from 2,000 to 185. 1990, 201.70, and now 2,277 people. So it's a small town of black people, but that's all you need, folks. All we need is a few of us to get together, pull our resources, and create something for ourselves. And they did that. They did it in a time when most people didn't want to deal with no black folks. All right. Now, that was the census of 2000. There were 2,432 people, 761 households in Eatonsville, and 548 families reside in the town. This is since 2000. So I can make an argument that it's probably increased as more black people have found out about this town and have decided, you know what, that's the place for me to be. Okay. So let me go on here. The population is dense. So they reside in the town. The population density was 2,469.5 inhabitants per square miles. There were 858 housing units at an average density of 871.2 per square miles. The racial makeup of the town was 89.31% African American, 7.5% white, 0.49% Native American, 0.29% Asian, 1.56% from the other races, and 0.82% from two or more races, Hispanic or Latino of any race, was 3.53% of the population. So basically, Black people comprise 89% of the population. And as I said, you know what like I said, the usual suspects, they can't stay away from us. So of course, you have a small usual suspect population there, but Black people are the majority. They control the government there. I had a chance to look at that. They control pretty much everything in Eatonville, although you're going to still have the usual suspects who they just can't get away from us for whatever the reason. The usual suspects will always find us wherever we go. That's just the facts. Hell, look at Africa. The usual suspects just can't stay out of Africa, but they tell me and you to stay away from Africa because it's a bad place. If it's that bad, why are they there? See? So these are things that we have to look at. This is a thriving Black town. Let me look at the more statistics here. There were 761 households, out of which 35.5% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 28% were married, pretty good, couples living together. 37.6% had a female household with no husband presented. Okay, it still remains a problem. It's a problem, okay? And 27.9% were non-families. 22.5% of all households were made up of individuals, and 8.5% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.92, and the average family size was 3.42. In the town, the population was spread out with 33.6% under the age of 18, 8.8% from 18 to 24, 27.5% from 25 to 44, and 19.6% from 45 to 64, and 10.4% who were 65 years of age or older. So they got an older population there. There's probably Black folks that have been there from generation to generation. And Black don't crack, and Black people, we tend to live a long time if we take care of ourselves. The median age was 31 years for every 100 female. 31 years, so that makes it pretty young then. 31 years for every 100 female. There was 88.7% males for every 100 females. Age 18 and over, there were 81.3% males. Okay, let me tell you what the median income. This is historical for this place, for this beautiful place called Eatonville. Okay, the median income for a household in the town was, this is all past tense, folks. So everything I'm reading is past tense. Okay, this is so you can extrapolate that as everything is going up higher. Inflation's going up higher. The price of living goes up higher. The median income for a household in the town was $29,457. So $29,457, and the median income for a family was $31,042. Males had a median income of $21,719 versus $21,328 for females. Per capita income for the town was $11,257. About 21.9% of the families and 25.0% of the population were below the poverty line, including 29.3% of those under age 18 and 24.3% of those age 65 or older. Now, if you do have an older population, you are going to have the poverty because older people tend to be on a fixed income. But as you can see, like any town, you're going to have people who have upper mobility and those who may have lower mobility. That's what you would have in any city, upper and lower. This is reality. Some people have jobs, some people have good paying jobs, some people don't. Some people have education, some people don't. Just depends on the situation. So those are some of the past number statistics. And here, demographics. Let me see. According to the United States Census Bureau, the town has a total area of 1.1 square miles, 2.8 kilometers, of which 1.0 square miles of land and 0.1 square miles. So that's pretty much like the size of the town, what it's about. So what I'm going to do next, see what I want to go into. So now that's a historical sign right there. It says Eatonville Town Hall, established 1887. Let me go over here. That's the sister Zoe that I was telling you about. She was born January 7th, 1891. She died January 29th, 1960. She was a big part of the community here, a big time writer. She was, as it says here, she was very influential author of African-American literature, who portrayed racial struggle in the early 20th century in American South. So a lot of her writings were about slave struggles of Black people in the early days of the 20th century times of the South. So she focused in that particular genre of her writing. She published research on Haiti. Wow, I didn't know this. So she published writing and research on Haiti, or voodoo. They want to call it voodoo or hoodoo. Hoodoo, I call it hoodoo. But so she published writing on different cultures. You guys, everybody in the family in the chat room, everybody in there, you might have heard of this book. She has one of her most popular books was the 1937 novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God. I think I've heard of that. Their Eyes Were Watching God. This is Zoe Neely Hurston, born January 7th, 1891, famous for the book, the 1937 novel, Their Eyes Were Watching God. And let me see if this will bring up that book for me real quick. Let me click on that. There goes the book right there. I'm putting my mouse on. Their Eyes Were Watching God. A racial climate in the early 1900s was this book is based in Jim Crow laws and acted from 1890 to 1910. Many African Americans were disenfranchised. That's right. Groups like the Ku Klux Klan terrorized Black citizens, leading them to the decline of African American political representation. So this sister was deep. She wrote some deep stuff. Let me pull out of that real quick. Go back to this right here. So she was into some deep stuff, family. Her early life. Houston was the 6th of 8 children of the John Houston and Lucy Ann Houston. All of their 4 grandparents had been born into slavery. Her father was a Baptist preacher. Sounds very familiar for a lot of us. Okay. So she is one of their most famous members of their community. And they have a museum of her there, like I had mentioned before. So let me pull out of that right here. Where do I want to take you? I'm going to get into that a little bit later. This is a thriving town. I'm going to get into this. There are some of their newsletters that they have there. But let me go into this area right here. Bam! They have a website, pretty nice website. You can see the sister with her daughter, and they got the father with his kids too as well. You're going to see that. It's pretty good stuff, I have to admit, what they've got going on in Eatonville. So right here, I'm going to stroll down here. Currently residents, 2,000 people that are residents. Black men, 27 Black men created Eatonville in 1887. Let me repeat that. and let me try my best to break down what this is stating here. The town of Eatonville was founded by 3 Union officers. So these brothers were officers in the Union Army. See, I told you, black folks, we've been in every damn war this country's ever had. So you've had the town of Eatonville. Make sure I don't have too much feedback here. The town of Eatonville was founded by 3 Union officers, Captain Josephine Eaton, Captain Lewis Lawrence, another officer who is unknown following the Civil War. These men left America to settle in South America, but during their voyage, they turned back and settled in Florida. To give a little background at this moment, the town there were black in Central Florida. And remember this, a lot of y'all that like to say you got Cherokee blood, a lot of there were Native American tribes that captured black people and put us in their own slave system that they had. It talks about here how they had been brought there by Seminoles. So you had Seminole Cherokee Indians. The Indians had stolen the black slaves from many states along the coast. Over time, many of the Indians and former slaves that did not move west stayed in Central Florida. So Eatonville is in Central Florida, basically. So let me move up here, let you see what they've got going on. Here's their council. Okay, Eatonville Council Movement. There's their mayor, Mayor Eddie Cole. That's their mayor. Vice mayor is Rodney Daniels. Marilyn Davis is the councilwoman. And then you've got Brother Thaddeus Washington, who's another council member. And then a brother down here, Brother Mack, who's a council member. So this city, they have everything that any city would have. Check this out, their services. They got everything. So they've got everything, just in case people are going to say they got everything. Water services, garbage services, everything that any damn city would have, okay? They've got their own police force, everything. Okay, requirements for new services, job vacancies, so solid waste helpful tips, commercial applications, building permits. They're a damn city. They're a damn city. Right? Black people can do anything that anybody else does, okay? And we can do it better, okay? So building permits, owners, building statements, everything. This is not a community that's run amok. People think that when black people come together to build something, that everything's going to be run amok. This is a town that's not running amok. Okay, let me pull back up here and see what else. Departments. Department of Public Works. They got a Department of Public Works. They got public. The mission and vision. Eatonville Public Works and Utilities Department is providing a quality facility. Okay, look at that. That's black folks building stuff. See, we can do things when we put our damn minds and hearts together. That's black folks putting this to their ability. That's black folks paving the streets. That's black folks. That's black folks. That's black folks. Eatonville Public Works and Utilities Department is providing a quality facility, water, sewage. So black folks have to take care of the water and sewage. You know, I'm sure because we're in America. I'm sure that they contract some work outside from out. You know, I'm sure that they use outside contractors to come in and do certain things that they may not have expertise in. And the things that they do that black folks are doing it, as you can see there, black man laying down some track. It says here, water, solid waste services to all residents and businesses within the community. We maintain all town parks, roads, ways, sidewalks, right-of-ways, and facilities, maintenances, and everything. So, like any damn city, you know, they got departments. Let's see. Finances. Y'all probably want to know, well, what them Negroes doing with the money? You know how black folks is with money. We always messing everything up. Let's read what their mission is. Money. Our mission is to develop and monitor the town's annual budget. And keep in mind, folks, I don't know if there's corruption going on in this town. If you got corruption in any damn town. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. Aren't we being ripped out of our money in just this country alone? We're paying taxes when we're paying a portional tax when it wasn't even ratified from all 50 states. All the states in the union never ratified a deal for us to be paying a portional tax. So we've been ripped off by the state, by the federal government. You got corruption in all these cities. But let me just read here real quickly their annual budget and comprehensive long-range financial forecast through collecting efforts. We accomplish this through sound fiscal analysis and operating revenue. So like any town, they've got people that are expert in the finances. Okay. Departments again, we got police. I know everybody don't like this one, but let me see. I bet you they got some code enforcement, police programs, fingerprinting, public works, recreation. They got recreation, town clerk. Okay. They got everything that any damn city would have, black folks. They got everything. Post office information. Shit, everything. Amber alert like any other city would have. Sewage, water, everything. Let me, they got some minutes here from some of their meetings. And I hope everybody's doing fine in the well, I'm not going to go into all their minutes, but departments, services, okay, news. All right. I'm going to pull up the news articles for you, events and about. Let me see. Let me go to about. Okay. Oh, that brings me back to, so let me click, let me see here. So they got they have their historical places, the home of J.E. Clark's. So they've got some of those places still there that exist that they're doing they got to do some renovations on some of these places, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are 6 of the 27 black men who decided to build this town in a time of really strong racial strife. Okay. So it's amazing. Let me go into, let me see here. Oops. I know folks would like this one here. There we go, their newsletter. So this is their newsletter, Eatonville Speaks. So they have in June, December to December, they have all kind of town council meetings, recycle day. Every Tuesday is a, what is this, collection of something sort. I can't make out the writing, it's very small, but they got Healthy Eaton Day at the Healthy Eaton place. Healthy Eaton Day, this Thursday, June 7th, kickoff or walk. This is black people. Okay. Now, you know, they got to sprinkle of some, like I said, they got, you know, wherever we go, the usual suspect just can't stay away from us. But see right here, they got a day to clean up the neighborhood, community outreach. This is their newsletters. Okay. Eatonville in action. Eatonville, a state of the town mayor address, 4/30/2018. That was in April. Community resources. Urban planning workshops. Okay, 2018, the historical town of Eaton winning Mount Young scholarship programs. So they have scholarship programs. Let's see here. Robert Wood Johnson Foundation is coming to Eatonville. Proud Eatonville graduates. So this is sort of their celebrating Juneteenth. As our summer months begin, we have so much to be thankful for. Encourage you to read this Eatonville Speaks newsletter. In the entry, you will be happy to note a number of accomplishments to be proud of. We also want to wish all of our fathers a happy Father's Day. So you got the Black Father on there. You got the Eatonville Mayor, Mr. Cole, Juneteenth. It's beautiful. So this is this example of their newsletters, folks, that this is a thriving town. This is not just some, you know, that's where Negroes live in the back corner somewhere. These are black folks that are doing the damn thing. And this place has been around since 130 years. Can you imagine that? This, to me, is what we talk about on these airways about when are black people going to have their own. This, to me, shows me that when we come together, pull resources, get rid of the Negro crap, get rid of the other, this ain't about religion. This ain't about religion. This ain't about religion you are. This ain't about anything. This is about straight cooperative economics. If we as black people in this country can use this place as a model to just get away from our differences in religion and political affiliations and just focus on self and kind, like these 27 black men that founded this place. I've got some more for you folks. This is not it. If I have time tonight, which I know I will, I'm going to do a Q&A to have some folks come on board and give me your opinions on the presentation. Eatonville, if you knew something about it already, if this is the first time you heard of this place, we're going to get into it. Okay. Brother Leotis Brown, thank you for being here. Healthy Heavyweight, thank you, brother. We do have crime in Eatonville, but it's not crazy. Okay, hey, wait a minute. Brother Healthy Heavyweight, are you from Eatonville? Because if you are, I need you to be on this panel tonight with me when I get to the panel portion of the show. When I put the link in the chat room, I need you to come in. Do you understand me, brother? Do you understand me? Let me see. I live in Eatonville. God damn, I got people in here that live in Eaton. Y'all must have saw my, damn it. I need y'all on the show, brother, to tell us what's really going on. Let me get into these videos I'm going to play for the family, for those who are not from Eatonville. And I need you two brothers that say you're from Eatonville to stay in the chat room. And when I put the link in, I need you on my panel. You understand what I'm saying to you? You better be down. And another thing, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit the bell for notification. I mean that. Okay? Now, so I'm looking at I feel weird now because I got two brothers that are listening to me, and I'm trying to, give you guys a crash course on what I found out. So I hope that I'm doing it some justice. And I know they got, like I said earlier, every place has got crime. Anytime you got a city where people live, you're going to have some creeps there sometimes. Okay? But I would imagine it's not like it would be in a major big city. But these brothers, when I get them on the panel, I hope that they will enlighten me to Eatonville and what it's really all about. But I'm touching the surface right now. But this is their Eatonville Speak is their newsletter, folks, and just gives you a little taste of what they got. And to me, I'm showing this because look, then you got the new Hungry Ford Elementary School opens August 2018. Elementary school. So what it tells to me is that when black people come together and put our minds together, we can have something like this. There's no reason if they could do this, if they could build this in 1887 with 27 black men and put this together under those harsh terms and under that harsh time, there's no excuse for Negroes in 2018 to be saying, well, I don't know if I can invest with y'all. I'm scared. We just got a bunch of scared black folks then. We don't need that. It's not going to work for us. So let me, so that's, like I said, it's in Central Florida, in the Orange County area of Florida, which is in Orlando. I think that's a very, if I'm not mistaken, is that a very conservative area of Florida, or is it Jacksonville that's more conservative? I'll have these brothers come on very soon and give us their breakdown. So, wow. Let me not play that right now. So let me get ready to go into this, and I hope it opens up one's mind.
The town of Eatonville, Florida serves as a monument to the end of slavery and the preservation of African American history. It's a place like no other. 6 miles outside of Orlando, Florida, lies a hidden jewel known as Eatonville, a place filled with a history of courage, progress, and the spirit of a people who are determined to make a better life for themselves while inspiring hope for the future.
Eatonville was founded by Joe Clark, who bought land from Josiah Eaton, who was willing to sell land to Joe Clark, a black man who had money to buy it.
22 acres of land was sold and donated to Joe Clark and others who took that land and decided to incorporate and build their own community. Historian Nwana Theory says finding a safe place to live after the Emancipation Proclamation of 1863 wasn't easy. Escaping the plague of racism was key as the creation of race colonies grew.
A significant number of thinking black people said, this is not going to work. If we can't live in security then with whites, then we need to move on out and found communities where we can live.
On August 15, 1887, Eatonville became a reality, proudly called the town that freedom built.
What makes it so special is we're self-governed. When we talk about being the oldest black municipality,
the town was built on the principles of education, family, community, and religion, core values that stand to this day.
St. Lawrence African Methodist Episcopal Church is a cornerstone in the community of Eatonville. This is the oldest church in the United States of America from a black perspective.
The church was founded in 1881. That's 6 years before the town of Eatonville, a location where founders met to discuss the future of their new town.
There's no ville like Eatonville, and that's true because we are unique in our own way. We feel that we set a precedent for other black communities.
Here that, for example, even the water pump in the back of this.
The theory believes it's important to preserve the past. She works with others to restore the town's most legendary buildings, like the Thomas House.
Its last incarnation was as a private home. It was at one time the church. It was at one time a library. It was at one time a gambling hall. This building has had at least 4 lives.
Eatonville native and author Zora Neale Hurston, best known for her book Their Eyes Were Watching God, brought attention to the town, along with a yearly arts festival held in her honor.
Zora Neale Hurston was a maverick who recognized the beauty of her people.
Whether it's the paintings that line St. Lawrence Church or the murals and paved roads along Kennedy Boulevard, it's all proof that Eatonville has come a long way, along with a legacy of hope. A legacy that will never be forgotten.
Eatonville, we're going to keep on keeping on.
It's a part of the American saga. It incorporates so much of what is quintessentially American.
The town of Eatonville is planning to celebrate their 125th anniversary in 2012. Reporting in Eatonville, Florida, I'm Chandrea Thomas.
So that's one taste of something. Eatonville is very interesting to me. I've got another taste of something for you. This one, I really like this one. Check this out too, folks. This is amazing because I've never heard of this place, and I was listening to a brother's show this week who I'm going to be bringing. There's a brother that I've been talking to who's a YouTuber, and I'm going to hold that back when I bring him on because he's going to be he's very dynamic. But this is a very interesting place to me.
Parks and Resorts, Orlando, and I am privileged to lead a destination that builds lasting memories for millions of visitors each year. But today, I'm here to talk about another Florida gem with a different type of legacy, just 20 minutes away. Isaac Clarke, a free man in a free town, co-founded by 26 other African-American men. It was the beginning of our nation's first and oldest African-American city, forever ingraining pride into the generations that followed. Today, you can still walk alongside time. You can join the annual Zora Neale Hurston Festival and celebrate something even bigger than history itself, heritage. The beauty of Florida is you can come for vacation and discover your roots.
So here I am on Kennedy Boulevard,
That's I-4 over there, but there's no direct exit. You have to get off at another one and then come north on the little side road. And this is the entrance to Eatonville, Florida. The town that Freedom built. The hometown of Zora Neale Hurston. I had a delightful visit with one of the women who curates the Zora Neale Hurston Museum, which is the building there on the left, and also is the home of the Eatonville Preservation Society. This is the new library named after Zora Neale that the county built. And Eatonville is the first incorporated African American municipality in the United States, 1887. And it's a very friendly, protected place. I think kids who grow up here have a very unique and amazing experience. This is the historic core of the town. Very typical old Florida town with a mixture of concrete block homes, newer ones, and older wood frame homes, which I adore, having grown up in them. The concrete ones are more practical, but the wood frame ones just feel more organic, as it were. And it's not just a slice of Florida, Central Florida, but it's also a rather interesting historic phenomenon, because 27 black men got together in 1887 and started this town, and it's still here today. And it's the town that created Zora Neale Hurston, who grew up here, and she was bodacious and courageous and enjoyed life, probably because she grew up with a lot of self-esteem in this very loving and protecting community. As she said in her essay, How It Feels to Be Colored Me, I left Eatonville, Zora, and arrived in Jacksonville a little colored girl. But in Eatonville, she was a person and had an identity, the mayor's daughter. With all the love and respect that went along with that. What a rare gift in this world. So, I particularly like that house. Just brings back memories. Anyway, this is my little rolling tour of historic Eatonville. So that was a little rolling tour, and I'm going to play the last video tonight before I open up the program for Q&A, bring some folks onto the panel. I specifically want the brothers in the panel who are from Eatonville to come on and give us their account of this town, this historical place from their perspective, so that I'm very honored to be able to get some good folks on the panel tonight. They're going to give me the real raw data who grew up there. That's fantastic. I wasn't expecting that tonight. That's going to make this video that much more authentic. So Let me open this up and let y'all see this.
We're just so honored to be here tonight. We're looking
That's
at
the mayor,
from all walks of
Eddie
life
Coles,
coming to celebrate 130 years of the historic town of Eatonville.
130 years for the town of Eatonville is very exciting. As a member of this community, knowing and understanding the value of Eatonville and seeing the progression, especially under the leadership of Mayor Eddie Cole, I'm very proud and I'm very excited about the future economic development, his progressive thinking, being able to have a level of pride as a member of this community. It draws more people, it attracts more people, and it gives us a genuine value that I think it should have had from the very beginning. So I'm happy to celebrate, happy to be here, and most importantly, I'm happy to be a part of this community. Eatonville has been not only a...
Let me stop that. I agree with you, sister. There was a sister in the chat room who said that she wished the man would have got out of his car and talked to people. I think that would have been better. You're absolutely right. To be able to hear the voices of the people. Hell, if I had the ability to go out to Florida and go into this town, you know, I will be going to Florida sometime soon. But if I ever have a chance to go in that area, I'm bringing my camera, I'm bringing all my YouTube equipment, and I'm going to film it and interview people. That's what should be done. Specifically talk to the older people in this community who remember things way back when, the griots, the oral tradition. Let me go back into this until we get to next step.
Important part of history within the U.S., but definitely here within the Central Florida area. And so I am here in support as well as in celebration to make sure that rich tradition that Eatonville has brought to.
Let me stop right there and listen. I think Darius Matthew said, you can't say your history comes from a book that is only 400 years old. Before then, there was no Bible. There was 42 principles of meta. Then Gettysburg created the printing press and copies its one page. I hope I understand what you're saying, brother. And brother Duvian, welcome. Anybody that's new in the chat room, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And let me get through this so I can get those brothers on the panel.
All of us, African Americans, but also to the world, making sure that tradition stays alive.
Man, it's just an honor to be a part of Eatonville. You know, the history, born and raised right there in that little town, played on the dirt streets. And now to see the paved roads, the expansion of homes, and just to be a part of that, man, as far as an African American, man, it just makes me proud.
Well, this is a monumental moment because Eatonville is known for Zora Neale Hurston and the festival. But to know that we have a predominantly African American town that has maintained its tenure for 130 plus years, where they have governed themselves when it comes to infrastructure and water and property development and growth, it's one of those great things to say why our people are being able to govern themselves. And so congratulations to Mayor Cole and the council members of the town of Eatonville being able to sustain this community and all the business owners, the church leaders, and the homeowners of Eatonville. Kudos to you for staying with the community and making it a great community.
We are the trendsetter. That's what made us a trendsetter from the start. And so we want to go back to this group that I sit with now. We want to go back, and anything that's good happening in the Black community, we are hoping it starts right here in Eatonville.
Let me stop that right there. That's a beautiful banner that you see on the screen. Eatonville 130 years anniversary. I think that's a beautiful thing. And what I'm going to do right now, Sister Brenda Johnson, I see you in the chat room. If you want to come on the panel, you're also welcome. Anybody that wants to come on and ask questions of the brothers that are going to come on or anything, you can definitely come on board and ask questions. I'm going to get ready to put the link in the chat room. Give me a minute here. Let me play a little music while I do this.
jackleg preachers.
Information is power.
You're listening
Yo. I'll be right back. All righty. Let me see. Let me disengage myself from this here. Boom, boom, boom. Disengage. Stop. Bam. Welcome, brother.
Peace, peace, peace. What's happening?
What's up, man? Well, what's your name you go by, brother?
I go by Healthy, man.
Healthy. Okay, brother. That's fantastic. Now, I'm glad that you're here with me. Anybody else that wants to come on the panel, you know,
and get Tone in here. Get Tone in here, man. That's family there,
all
man.
right.
Wow.
Brother Tone, come on in, man. Hit the link.
That's Ken folk. He from the crib, man.
Okay. Come on in, brother.
Shit.
Click the link and come on in, brother, so you can add to the discussion. But you said you're from Eatonville, brother?
Yeah, man. Born and raised, man. 1887, man. That's
Wow.
what we call it in the streets. We call it 1887. 87.
That's what y'all call in the streets, 1887.
Yeah.
That's smooth. That's smooth.
Yeah, man.
Oh, cool. Now, where are you still living in Florida now? Or are you out of that?
Yeah. I'm still here, man. Still here. Man.
Okay. Now you mentioned that that they have some crime there, like any city, any place, there's going to be something.
Yeah.
Not all.
The thing is, when it's a small town, you know, most likely, like, see, the thing about Eatonville, mostly everybody is related. You know what I'm saying? So when somebody gets shot, somebody get killed, it's gonna be your cousin or somebody you know. So it's a big deal to us, even though we're a small town. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So that's how we look at it, you know.
Wow.
Yeah. But it goes down there, man. I understand they have the elites and all that all on the videos. I get it. But it's a whole nother ball game, you know what I'm saying? When the sun go down, you know, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Down there, man.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but it is a beautiful place, man.
Okay. Now, what's the makeup right now racially? Is it because I know that there's a brother that I talked to, Keith Newsom, who has a platform.
Right.
He said that Orlando has become very gentrified.
Oh yeah.
How is that impacting Eaton?
Yeah. Well, gentrification has not hit Eatonville the way you would think it, like whites moving in. They just moved in a big, huge Family Dollar store right in the middle of Eatonville, and it's so weird to see it. But they're kind of coming in by the way of like businesses and investing and setting up shop like that. They're not walking dogs down the street yet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
They ain't coming through like that yet. The only way they coming through unless they ready to buy some crack or something. That's the only time you see white folk like that, or they just passing through going to work. Just being whiny with you.
Hey, brother Tone, come on in, brother. Come on in so you can add to the discussion. Look, I'm going to ask you a very serious question.
Okay.
You grew up there. Don't take it personal.
It's all good.
But I have to ask, what's the coon ratio there?
The coon level is super high, bro.
Oh,
super high. Yeah, it's crazy. They're not letting the real people get in the local government like that. I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying, people beliefs or whatever, but you know, we have like a saying in the hood. It's like you have to be sort of connected in order to get into the local government and all that, you know. Sororities and fraternities and Masons and all that shit. That's who running the show there, man.
Yeah.
That's who running the show, bro. That's just how we look at it, man. So if you and through the church also, all that is connected. So it's like them versus the streets.
So it's the boule all over again.
All over. Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy, bro. It is heavy.
In terms of like any community, you have people that are upper mobile, people that are poor.
Yeah.
That kind of okay. And I don't know if a lot of stuff that I was reading was factual. Is it an older population?
Yeah, most of the people live in Eatonville, man. It's an older retired population. A lot of black people own their homes. So, you know, you see the old elderly couple sitting on the porch, you know what I'm saying, talking crap to us, little rug rats running around. So yeah, it's exactly what you would imagine. Yes, it's a very older population, but the streets is running wild.
Okay. Do you have more people, let's say, do you have transplants? Like, let's say, for example, black folks like myself who are finding out about Eatonville and deciding to move there. Do you have transplants coming in or do you have more people moving out?
You have more people moving out. I'm just being 100 with you, man.
Okay, I'd rather be 100.
We don't get, I mean, first of all, I just want to thank you for even putting it on the map like that, man. Nobody really know what goes on here in the Ville like that, bro.
That's the reason why
I was surprised when I seen it on my. I was surprised when I seen it on my subscribe. It's like, what? Oh shit! Okay, let me see what's going on. Okay, finally, god damn. So,
yeah, I'm amazed by the historical history.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I know that things happen with time.
Yeah,
I am amazed that this is a Black community that has stayed intact somewhat over all these years. And like you just said, it's not gentrified as because if you look at Black folks, I'm in California, basically, Northern California.
Oh, okay. So you would love it here.
Yeah, Black folks. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, you from Cali. You this would be heaven, man.
Oh,
but the thing is, bro.
Go ahead.
It's real laid back, brother. That's one thing I have to tell you. Coming from California, y'all coming from up north in New York City and all that. We real laid back. We cool, calm, collected country people down here. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
so, that's just what it is, man. We sit on the porch, we drink our sweet teas, and everybody know everybody business. You know how it is. It's a small town. That's how we get down here, man. Everybody know everybody.
It's a small town living.
Yes, small town living, man. It's very small town. You blink one time in Eatonville, you outside already. That's how small it is. It's very small, man.
Because what I was going to say to you, brother, is that living in California, Black folks, we're being gentrified out of California. We're a done deal here. A lot of things are happening to us here. So all across the landscape of this country, Black folks are being pushed further and further out. But you're saying that, why do you think that Eatonville has not been gentrified yet?
I don't know. It's one of those, it's a very special place, man. We've been secure. Like I say, we have the church. We have these, like, they are Black Masons that's running the show, but they real stand-up brothers. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They're not, like, going to let certain people come in and do certain things. It's been like that for the longest, bro. So we always kept it Black, man. That's just how we are, man. We always kept it Black, man. Black first, always.
Black always. Okay.
So that's how we did it, man. We have a real stronghold around us, man. It's like I said, it's one strip. You blink one time, you out, but it's ours and we protect it. And what the church can't do, what our local police can't do, we have the thugs in the street that's gonna back everybody up trying to do certain things that's not from here. You feel me?
Yes.
That's how we get down.
Okay. Now you said where's Brother Tony? Come on in, brother. I put the link in there.
Yeah, we went to the same high school, man. I want to see what's up with dude, man.
I wonder if are you having a hard time getting into the link? Is the link not responding, brother, or what's the deal? He said, I will. Let me see. What is the brother saying? I'm trying to see what he's saying in there. Facts. Well, he's saying what you're saying is facts.
Yeah.
What's going on, Gab Talk Media? Good to see you, brother. What else can I ask? Brother. What about
someone did say, let me say this right quick. Someone did say that there should be a movie about it or whatever. The closest thing we have that you guys can check out is a movie that they did off the book by Zora Neale, Their Eyes Was Watching God.
Yes.
And that movie had Halle Berry in it, you know what I'm saying, when she was nice and young, tenderoni, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, she did really good in that movie. And that movie get zero recognition, man. I want you guys to check out that movie, and it shows how Eatonville was founded. It shows it in the movie.
Brother Tony is giving me his email, so I'm gonna send the link to his email.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I'll do. I need to let me see something. I need to copy and paste. Keep talking, brother. What about that mayor? What is his deal, man? Is he Eddie
Cole had a few scandals, man. I forgot what that was about. But he had a few scandals, but it ain't no gay shit or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it was about some money or something. It was about some money or something real silly like that. But you know what I'm saying? I went to school with his daughter, and real strong Black family, man. That's all I can say about him. He has 4 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them came out on point. You know what I'm saying? All of them went to Black colleges, FAMU, Bethune, and all that stuff. Yeah, man. So yeah, real good, strong Black family. That's a good brother right there, man. For real. But you know, they gotta throw something on you. You know how they do it. You know.
Yeah.
For real.
Trying to the chat room's moving so fast. I'm trying to.
I can't see the chat. What are they talking about?
They're saying good things, brother. I'm trying to cut and paste with my mouse, and because the chat room's jumping, I'm having a hard time. Once I can get my cut and paste on, I can get it in my then I can send him an email. Once I can cut and paste it over to what I need to send him the damn link, and that's what I'm having a hard time because the chat room's moving.
Okay, yeah, I'm reading it now.
Yeah, man, I got to get this brother on since you guys know each other. It'd be like a reunion for you. What's the schools like there?
Well, we have Hungerford Elementary School. I mean, we just have like an elementary school. That's about it, man. We have a public library. That's about it. It ain't nothing really to brag on, to be honest with you, man. But everybody from here usually go to FAMU, Bethune, Cookman, Miami, University of Central Florida. So that's how we do it, man. As far as school.
Okay. Everybody, can you do, hey, brother Tony, send that email again, man. I'm having a hard time. Damn, how can I do this? I mean to pull it up on the oh, there it is. Everybody just stop writing for a minute so I can catch this. There we go.
Yeah, that's true, Tom. We don't even don't get enough outside support. Man, we need it bad, man. We need a lot of black businesses to come here, man. Like real solid black people, man.
All right, now I got it. Now I got it. So overall, I mean, in terms of businesses,
okay,
most of the black folks in Eatonsville own their own businesses, or how much are y'all dealing with white folks, man? Let's just keep it real with me. How much are y'all dealing with white folks?
Man, not too many white folks come here as far as like business or whatever. We kind of just deal with, I see we have a barbershop, we have a soul food restaurant, couple crab shacks, couple corner stores, but those are owned by like Spanish people right now. It used to be owned by black people back when I was a kid, but you know, then it went to like, you know, some people from Middle East, and now gentrification. Now, I don't know if you would call this gentrification, but a lot of Hispanic people are coming in with the little corner stores in the Ville. So that's what's going on. I don't know if you want to label that gentrification or not, but they're not from here, so I don't know how they do it, but yeah, we have a couple Spanish corner stores that was once owned by blacks. Yes, that is facts.
That doesn't sound good, brother. That
yeah, man, you know, black folks would rather just pass by what we have and go straight to 7-Eleven. They put a 7-Eleven right on the outside of the Ville. So that's how they doing it. They cornering us off and putting the 7-Eleven here, then the Family Dollar here. Then we also have, I don't know if you guys know about the movie production school called Full Sail. We have a lot of people coming here to go to Full Sail. So now they're building a whole bunch of condos and stuff on the outside of Eatonville. They're knocking down a lot of old apartments and stuff that we had throughout the years. And now they're building up these huge condos to accommodate these people coming down to go to Full Sail. So like I say, it's all on the outskirts, but you can see they're knocking certain things down. They're kind of cornering us in, man. That's how they doing it. They're just smushing us in, bro.
Wow. Let me try to forward this to your brother there.
And the only people that can hold on, from what I'm seeing, is the people that, like the older people that own their homes. Those are the only people that I really see, like people that have been around since my grandmother, you know. So they've been around, man. So that's the only people that's really holding on. The people that own their homes, they're all holding on for real.
For real.
They holding on. We holding on back here, man.
All right, brother Tony. What I'm going to do is I'm going to forward you my original link from my email. So it's going to be forwarded to you. I just put your email in there. Be on the lookout for it and click yourself into the program. So let me send this to him right now, and boom. All right, so hopefully he'll get that. I just forward that to him.
You say, here come the damn Hispanics. Brother crazy. That's how it is, man.
I'm brother, in some ways, having you here tonight is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
In some ways, it's a little disappointing, and I'll tell you why.
I ain't gonna sugarcoat shit. That's probably why.
I started off presenting a very high vibrating story.
It's a beautiful story, man. But
I use the historical information, though, brother. I use the historical information, which is real. But you're giving me what's currently happening, and I'm a little let me just keep it to myself.
Keep it 100, my nigga. I don't give a shit. Like, do you, dog?
Nah, my thing is like anytime that black people have something.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that the town is still there 130 years, you can't like laugh at something like that. That's pretty.
You're right.
That's pretty big. But at the same time, I hate when I hear about black communities that were once this way, and then little by little they start to lose.
Yeah. Well, we had the crack epidemic like everyone else. You know, you have the winos, you have the prostitution. That's why I mentioned Melody Hotel. He didn't want to put that on the camera. He just drove past it. But if you would have just panned that camera to the left, you would have seen everybody standing out on the block like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he panned it to the right. You know what I'm saying? Showing the homes and so, which is beautiful. But it's good to know both sides of the story, man. It is a beautiful story. I'm not going to front. But we do have issues like everywhere else. It's just except that we have a black government, black police. You know what I'm saying? We have your thugs in the street. You have grandma on the corner. And in between, you got people just trying to just make it. And when they make it, they don't stay. I'm going to say that for anybody who's listening to this that's from the Ville. They do not stay. They move the fuck out and they just do their thing, man.
We got Minister Slow in there. Hey, Minister, brother, what's up, brother? You from Chicago? Hey, brother, you must be new to the channel, brother. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notification. Now, Real Aaron Collins has come on. The brother's from Chicago.
Peace.
And he lives in LA for about 5 or 6 years now. What's going on, Real Aaron Collins?
What's going on, family? What's going on, brother? Heavyweights.
Peace.
Hey, man, I was feeling good in my illustration, and this brother came along and he said, wait a minute, brother.
My bad, bro. I don't want to do it like that, man.
Let me tell you the real Eatonville.
I don't want to do it like that, man.
No, the historical stuff that I talked about was on point. Now, that was on point. Would you say that I talked about was on point, brother?
I would say it's 100% factual. Everything you read about Eatonville is a fact.
Okay, but then there's a reality of the 21st century that we have.
Of course, it's 2018, man. Of course.
Hey, brother Tone, did you get the forwarded link to you, brother? Let me send it to him.
Info man, I think Tone was saying that you gotta email it to him. I think he put his email in the chat. I believe the last time I saw it.
Yeah, I did, man. I cut and pasted it. Well, let me do it. You know what? I'm gonna do it using this right here. Just keep on talking. And welcome, Brenda Johnson. Welcome, sister.
Yes. Peace.
She's all the way from London. It's about morning time there.
Oh, good morning.
What's going on, sister? She must be doing something right now. Hey, let me see what I was going to ask.
Wait a minute. I was on mute.
Oh, you're on mute? Okay. I'm asking you how you doing. I know it's morning back there where you are. I got a brother that I'm trying to get in. He gave I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, I emailed you his email address.
Oh, thank God. Let me look in my email then. Let me check out.
Hey, Queen Brenda.
Right there.
Hey, okay. Hey, King Aaron. Hey, King. From Eatonville.
Peace, sister. How you doing?
Hey.
Hey, Heavyweights, I wanted to mention that you were saying that it's a few Hispanic businesses there. I was saying, I made a comment saying that's basically the beginning stages of gentrification. They're starting to trickle in little by little. Answer this question for me. Are these Hispanic businesses, are they employing any of the black citizens of Eatonville?
Oh man, I might have to go deeper and rap on that one, man. You know how they do with these corner stores, man. They hire the local hood rat, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just keeping it 100. That's how they do it. Or they'll hire the local crackhead to sweep outside or whatever. You know, pay him a couple $2 and come sweep. So I guess if that's what you mean by hiring, that's what they're doing.
Yep. Next thing you know, the Koreans will be wanting to set up shop. Then,
oh man, that'll look odd if they did that. That should look crazy.
they'll
A
be
Chinese restaurant right in the middle of the Ville. Oh Lord, have mercy.
But let me ask you a question though, brother.
Yeah.
What is the political system like there in terms of do Black folks in Eatonville as it's currently comprised today? Not yesterday. Do they have the mindset to say, no, it's going to be about Black folks in Eatonville, and we're not going to let other people come in and try to identify us?
I would love to say yes, but since they put that huge Family Dollar in the middle of the Eatonville looking odd as hell, you know what I'm saying? I really can't give you an answer, man, because that Family Dollar is an eyesore. So that shit look crazy as hell, man. And it's right beside a church. Like if you can just like Google like map it or something, man, that shit just look odd, man. So it's like little weird stuff like that is going on in the Ville, man. So but as far as political, like, man, we very like politically aware. Like we know, like, you know what I'm saying? We love Eddie Cole. So we've been riding with him for so many years, man. We know his family. So that's just how we do it, man. We stand behind him, man. So yeah. And he's young too, man. He's young. He's a young brother. So that's how we do it, man. We just try to keep it all home team, man.
Okay. Now, let me know if I'm correct or right. Is the city or the town of Eatonsville considered a historical landmark now? Because okay, so it is.
Yes.
So does that make it? Let me just ask you this, brother. Does that make it difficult? You know how they'll move into neighborhoods and they'll do what they'll blighten it if they want to take it over and build whatever. So if it has that label, then Eatonsville as a community you can't have developers just moving and blighting the area and just take it over completely.
Yeah,
right?
no, I don't think that would ever happen because it would have happened already. So
because under that statute, you can't do that. So that keeps the community safeguarded. Hopefully,
that's probably what it is, man. Like I think them brothers, man, back in the 1887 days, man, I think they set up something. I don't know how they did it, man. Like to be honest, I say they had to be connected to some kind of way to just pull it off like that, man. But certain things are in place, so certain things just do not get touched, man.
So this is the question then, brother. And Brother Johnson, I want you to chime in on this, and Real Aaron Collins. If 27 Black men and one Black man was able to convince a white boy to sell him the land, if they
come up off of it,
in 1887, go ahead, brother.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking what they're thinking. Like, you got to come up off this, man.
Okay.
For real.
My thinking is that if Black men at that time in 1887 could pull off something like that, what's stopping Black folks today with all the advancements we think we have today? What's stopping us from being able to do the damn same thing that they did 27 years, those many years ago, 130 years ago? What's stopping us?
Well, it wasn't no welfare back then. It wasn't no food. It wasn't no food stamps. It wasn't no welfare back then. It wasn't no child support check. It wasn't no crack cocaine. It wasn't none of that going on back then. Brothers had farms, and brothers were ready to put their hands in the dirt and make things happen. And that's how they did it, man.
Old school.
Exactly. Old school. That's how they did it, man. For real, for real.
So you asked what's stopping brothers from doing it today? One thing, we know the obvious elephant in the room, there's non-unity, and then there's too much backbiting and stuff like that. And folks always think that's someone trying to outdo them when that's not the case. Instead of working together, I mean, and you know, we just don't come together to support one another. And I'm not bashing my own men in my own race. Just going by what we see.
You're right, man. It's going to be the same story whether it happened in Harlem or wherever else. There was a strong Black stronghold, man. So it's going to be the same story here, man. Except for we just have certain things in place that stop certain things from happening, but we still here though. So.
And another thing too, I want to mention too that like a lot of us be on that CP time. You know what I mean? Like you say that you're supposed to be, and I'm guilty of it. But you know, you're supposed to be there somewhere at a certain time. You come there an hour later or something. Oh man, you know, I had to, you know, I lost track of time. You know, like that, not taking it seriously.
Brother Healthy, What about the youth in Eatonville? What's the state of?
Man, we just have two different types of youth, man. We have the youth that's just trying to do good. Cause like I say, we have strong Black families here in the Ville, man. But we also have that element of, I don't know if y'all know anything about Mali, where y'all at.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? But Mali is tearing our kids up out here, man. Kids walking around, boys dressing like girls, and vice versa. We got the pink dreads. We got all that crap going on here, man. But there is an element also alongside of that of strong Black families that's producing educated children, man, that's going to a lot of these Black colleges. So it's a crazy dynamic to see, but it's clear cut as day, right down the middle. That's how it is, man.
I wanted to, can you hear me, brothers?
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you. Yes.
I wanted to answer your question and you know, Brother Aaron, I don't subscribe to the reason why we can't do the same thing now as it happened then, because Black people don't come together and Black people are late and all that. I don't subscribe to that, because that's just putting us down. I just want to say the system of white supremacy is what has stopped us from doing this. You know, that was a different place. That was a different time. This was on the heels of, you know, the end of the Civil War and Reconstruction. It was a completely different mindset. And also, you know, Florida at that time was sparsely populated. You know, people could just go and, you know, if they could pool their resources, which wasn't necessarily about money. It was about labor, you know, getting some brothers together who know how to turn some dirt over and know how to build houses and stuff.
Exactly.
That's how they built this community. Today, completely different dynamic. Completely different dynamic. You can't build communities today unless you have economic power. And that's what we lack in the Black community. We have been shut out of having any economic power systematically every step of the way. There's a wonderful book out now called The Color of Law. And I encourage, and I got it on my reading list, but I've heard a lot about this book and I'm going to read it. And they talk about this a lot on Yvette Carnell's and Antonio Moore's platform about how systematically the laws in America has shut Black people out from creating communities, from having our own stores. I want each one of you to do a little experiment one time, because I've done this myself. If you go to look for a property, just pretend you're going to go to look for a property. Take a white person with you.
Okay.
Take a white person with you. Walk in there, talk to the realtor and say, you know what? This is what I'm looking for. Make it up. Say I'm looking for a house, and you know, and I can afford, you know, $500,000. Just make it up, make the shit up, you know, and go in there and get the information of what they're going to present you. And then you take a white person in there and have them present the same information and then compare notes. You're not going to get the same answer. They're going to show, and this happened to me, they're going to show me a piece of shit. And they're going to show the white person something that's decent.
That's right.
Okay? It's not a level playing field, and it's not, you know, I love you, Aaron. It's not the fact that some of our people are lazy, because I swear to God, white people are some of the laziest people. Okay? They just happen to have a lot of goddamn money. So they don't have to do shit.
Credit to shit.
But we do. Okay? So it's not, you know, I love you, brother, but stop. Don't, ooh, I can't stand that talk. Stop putting us down. It ain't that we lazy and we don't know how to show up on time and we don't come together. No, we have been systematically shut out. And until we get our leadership together, until we get our lawmakers together, until we get a think tank together like white folks do. White folks have a think tank. Black folks need one too. And the think tank puts out all the propaganda that these people act on. The think tank puts out all the code that these people act on. Until we have this shit together, those things, then we can't really move. We need a think tank. We need leadership. And then we can start shaking some things up, because we're fighting a monster here, people. We're fighting, you know, a 1,000-foot gorilla called white supremacy.
Hey, Brother Tone, I send you another link. I decided to pull up another link, so I sent that to you. And try that other link, the next email that I just sent you. Try that link and see if you can come in. I don't know what you're using, whether it's a phone, if you're using a computer. It's easier if you're using a desktop computer. I don't know if you're using a tablet.
He's on a phone.
He's on a phone?
Yeah.
He should be able to click into, wait a minute, you know what? Let me see if I can pull his email to my Google contact. Might be easier for me to get him that way. Let me see something. Let me copy that here. Open up my Google contact and see if that'll work. No, I think you're right. We have to not marginalize us. You know, we have to realize that we do have some obstacles in our way.
But our biggest obstacle is economic.
Yeah. And, you know, we do, you know, we have Black folks that are in our community that are not any good for us. We need to just push their asses out the way and keep going forward as to what we need to do. We don't have, like I said, we can't carry everybody's damn water. That's right. You know, we're not going to be able to save everybody. We need to work with people who are like-minded, and we have to get to that kind of thinking. And that's why I'm glad that this brother came on board, because he gave us some extra insight into the town. I mean, I got into more of the historical stuff tonight, but he gave me the piece that would have been missing, which is what's going on in Eatonville today.
Yeah, today.
So you.
And I just want to respond to something in the chat.
Yes.
Minister Slow Stroker says the first step is unity. I disagree. The first step is leadership, because you are not going to get everybody on the same sheet of paper. That's impossible. So, you know, when Martin Luther King was doing his thing, not everybody supported him, but he was a strong leader. Leadership is number one. That's where we start. And then as we put some strong leaders together, those people who are inclined to follow and get in line will. And then there are some people who will never get there. And we need to push them aside and keep moving.
Let me make this announcement. Tone, Brother Tone, I just sent the link to the Google contact, because I took the email and I basically sunk you into my Google contact now. And I sent you a link right on the Google contact. So if you got that Google Hangout on your phone, just go into your Google Hangout, you know, the Google Contact app or the Hangout app on your phone. Look at the link, click into that. That should bring you into the program through your phone. Okay? There's always a way to skin the cat. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's why I asked the question, because for these men to create a town under those circumstances, 1887, I mean, that's before turn of the century. I mean, Black folks were being horrifically under persecution. And so,
yeah, and we never had a Rosewood issue or nothing like that. It was nothing crazy.
You never had that kind of thing? Okay, wow.
Never.
How many? Let me ask you something, because I'm not a big expert on Florida. How many other Black communities similar to Eatonsville, if there's any, are there in the state of Florida?
I think there is a few, but I know there was a real good one down in Miami. I don't know the name of it, but there was definitely one down in Miami, man. Yeah, man. There's no place like Eaton. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, man. It's the first Black incorporated, and it's the only, man. I really don't know how they pulled it off, man. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. You may have a little town here and there, a couple Black folks staying on this block or whatever, but I mean, a local Black government. I mean, Black police, Black businesses, churches, Black churches. I haven't really seen it like that nowhere else, man. I'm just keeping it 100 with you, man. I don't know how they. I'm amazed till this day. I still don't know how they pulled it off. I don't know.
So in 130 years, they never had any riots in Eaton.
Nope.
Or you didn't have white folks trying to burn it down like they did Roosevelt or anything like that.
Nope.
Wow.
Nope. Nope. Not at all. Not at all.
There never was any attempt for white money to come in there and take it over?
No, not to take it over, but they try to set up shop here and there. And that has only been going on for the past, 10 years that I'm seeing, man.
Now, in that piece that I played, they said that Eatonville has one of the oldest churches in America.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's an AME church, I believe. I'm not sure.
It's supposed the pastor said that it's the oldest AME church in America.
Okay, yeah, so it was an AME, yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know that. Picked up the piece.
AME.
Amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man, that's why I say, man, back in the day, I mean, we all know our Black history when it comes down to these churches, man. Churches was a stronghold back in those days. Mm-hmm. It was a whole nother church back then. We was having a different conversation in them churches back then. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it really went down up in there. So, I think that's how they did it, man. I think a lot of good, solid conversations was taking place in these churches, man. And it kept people, you know what I'm saying, thinking clearly and sober-minded and kept them on the right track. And, you know, so. Okay,
I'm going to have to.
You know, brother, you make a great point about the Black church.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wait, hang on for 1 minute.
Okay.
We got Brother Tony on, but he's on through my phone.
Okay.
So we'll just do the best we can with that. How you doing, brother? All right. Let me see. Let me turn up my volumes. We've been talking about a town that you grew up in, brother. Can you add?
No, I didn't grow up there, but I grew up, well, somewhat. I moved down there when I was 11. I'm about 34. I'm 34 now. So basically, yeah, you said I grew up there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you grew up there, and what's your perspective based on what I did tonight was more historical preference to the town, but what is your experience growing up there?
It's like a close-knit family with no funding.
Exactly.
Wait a minute. Repeat that again. I think I missed something. You said without no what?
A close-knit family
mm-hmm.
with no funding. It's like the Black Waltons, bro.
Wow.
The
Black
There's a town. There's a town called Winter Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops. There we go.
Winter Park, and there was a Black town called Eatonville. The white town got the funding. The Black town just got left alone.
Mm-hmm.
They just got left alone. They gave them their nation, just didn't give them no help, no funding, none whatsoever.
So would you say, not to put words in your mouth, that Eaton is like one of these Black towns that's separate but not equal in terms of resources?
Right.
Wow.
Best thing we got right now, bro, is a Family Dollar, man. There's like
a Family Dollar, bro.
Oh, brothers.
Us, bro, on everything.
I just set up here.
Hey, what can I say, bro? They got the complexion for the protection, and we got the complexion for the neglection.
Ooh.
Wow.
You laid it down.
Well, wow. I just did. Folks are going to look at this, and they're going to look at the historical stuff that I did, and they're going to be like, "Oh, wow!" And then all of a sudden, you brothers come on.
Nah, it ain't like that.
No. You know what? It does.
I mean, no. Don't get me wrong. I'm being tongue in cheek here.
Festival, no, it can be beautiful and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Man, it's not as bad as you think.
Okay, I'm just being tongue in cheek here.
As far as I'm concerned, but that for a town that's been here that long, we've been here too long to have too little.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, we need more to show for.
Okay.
And don't get more. You're not going to see graffiti all over the world. You're not going to see none of that.
Like it's not going to be like an urban setting like that.
Nah, you ain't going to see no graffiti. I haven't seen no graffiti.
Okay.
Hey, brothers, what's the population of Eatonville?
About 2,000. What is it? 20? Was it 2,000?
Yeah, it's not a lot. Man.
That's very small. Yeah.
2,000.
Yeah, about the size of probably like a Miami high school or something like that. Just.
I'm still trying to wrap my head up around the fact that it's been around that long, and when it comes to most Black communities that have been founded at that particular time in history, they don't tend to last all the way up into now. Something always happens.
Yeah, we don't get the recognition here, man. Like people are just not catching on to Eatonville, man. I be talking to people like that's other people, and the only way I can introduce them to Eatonville, I'm like, hey, you know Zora Neale Hurston? Yeah, I know Zora Neale. You know where she from? Yeah, she from Harlem. Nah, she from Eatonville, man.
Hang on, Brother Healthy. Brother Tones was getting ready to say something, because remember, he's talking through my phone, so we're only getting so he's not actually, he's coming to the phone.
I'm sorry.
Go right ahead, Tone. You was about to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, like, in my opinion, no, honestly, we would be in a better position, but the history of corruption that has happened to this town, money that has been stolen and has been mismanaged by this town, caused a lot of, in-house problems.
Yes. Facts.
I mean, there's been opportunities there, but we just had the wrong people in the wrong position with the wrong thing.
I have to ask y'all brothers honest questions. How often go back and visit? Because a lot of times when we grow up in communities and we be like, oh, I'm out of there, and we keep looking straight and we never go back, How often have you guys visited?
I'm practically here.
Oh, okay.
I'm practically here, bro. It's like right around the corner. I can walk to Eatonville if I want to. Bro, seriously, bro. I'm practically here. Like, I go check out my homies every day. There's a little neighborhood called Catalina Park. I'll go there and I play chess.
Yep. Catalina Park.
I chill out there, or I'll be back. Basically, I'm still here, bro.
What about? I know the brother Healthy was saying that there's some crime, and that's to be expected in any place. There's going to be some crime. You're not going to have everything be like angel food cake or something.
Right.
What is the state of crime in terms of how Black people are dealing with each other? Is it this world star stuff where Black folks stuff, or Black people sort of like when something happens, they sort of stand up for one another?
Yeah, you talking to Tom? Go ahead, Tom.
Or just all of y'all, yeah. Because
well, I would say, man, we just like he said, he go to check on his homies in Cali in the park. You know what I'm saying? My people be on Lee Street. You know what I'm saying? Over up by Den Johnson and all that. You know what I'm saying? So we a close knit family. Everybody know everybody. You see what I'm saying? Everybody kin to somebody some kind of way. So you might catch a murder like probably one in every 2 years. You might catch one. And everybody know about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know why that happened. So it's not like everybody just getting shot up and beat up in the middle of the street. No, it ain't like that. It's like we protect each other.
All right. Are y'all brothers familiar with Marlowe's Corner?
Oh, yeah, that's the movie.
Yeah. Make sure if you want great boxing analysis, everybody, make sure you subscribe to Marlowe's Corner.
Okay, I'll check them out.
All the hits every time because the brother puts it down all the time. Go to Marlowe's Corner for great boxing analysis, and you get the best there. Brother Marlowe's Corner, I want my money. Promos for you. Where's my money? Wait, brother, this is a unexpected. I mean, you know what? Nothing happens for just circumstance. It was meant for me to do this, and it was meant for you guys to, for whatever reason, come to my channel tonight and give this perspective. I believe everything is meant for a reason. This is not happenstance, man.
Man. I've never seen like nobody, like we don't get recognition in the Ville, man. We just don't, man. Tony can probably tell you the same thing. Like I say, what? Somebody talking about the Ville?
Right now, you just tune in, you know what I'm saying? You get a real good perspective of the history of Eatonville, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was saying to myself, that's one of our downfalls, we sometimes have older people amongst us who know the history, and then when they pass away, we say, "Wow, I wish I would have got Uncle Charlie on tape or on video or something like that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, we got to start doing that because our family members, they're not going to be here forever, man. We got to start recording because we're going to be able to hand that down to the next generation. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for all of us, wherever the hell we are in the corner of this world. Okay, we'll all be doing that in our own communities because my heart is kind of heavy tonight. I was talking to my mom and found out that my uncle, he was having health problems. He had passed away. He was in a nursing home and he had diabetes and all sorts of things were going on with him. So it's tough when you lose a family member.
Definitely.
So that's heavy on my heart right now. But I wanted to do this because to me, I was inspired by the story of Eaton, and I felt that it was a metaphor for what Black folks need to be trying to do. And I don't know if I know Brenda says she's not going to go for no, lackadaisical. Let's just say that all Black people are not this and that. And I understand what Brother Real Aaron Counts was trying to come from, but I really feel like when I was in college, I pledged a frat, and we used to use the terms in which we said excuses are tools of the incompetent. Those who use them seldom succeed. And if we as Black people can get away from using excuses and just take the damn ball and get people to F out the way and do what it is that we got to do. So what if people ain't going to roll with you? They're not going to believe in you. You know what happens? Usually if you create something, then people are going to come around. They're going to say, "Oh, I want to be a part." I'm pretty sure those Black men, all those 130 years ago, when they had this grand idea to put this town together, I'm sure there might have been Black folks that were telling them, "We can't do that."
and then they became residents.
They're gonna skin us alive. If we gotta, I'm pretty sure there were Black folks that probably told them, "You crazy as hell if you think that white man gonna sell you that land."
Them white folks gonna kill you.
But guess what? He did it. All right. He did it, and you have Eatonville today. Whether you got good parts of Eatonville, bad parts, whatever, it's yours. It's your town. It's your place. It belongs to you. Damn it. So that's how I look at it. To me, basically, brother, y'all gave me, this is a gift to me to be able to talk about this, because in the beginning of my program tonight, I got into a real big diatribe about the historical background of Black people as it relates to coming out of Jim Crow, struggling. And I used the backdrop of that metaphor as it relates to Eaton, because it shows that even within those most difficult times in our history, Black folks always will find a way and seek a way. Now, if we could bottle that up and put some of that manhood that those 27 Black men had back in 1887 into these Negroes today, we would be better off for it. So
I just wish that I'm gonna have to go deep in rap on this one.
No, go ahead, brother.
The brothers, okay. How can we get the brothers? Because like I say, Eatonville is ran. I don't know if I'm getting in trouble for saying this, but like I said earlier, Eatonville is ran by a certain type of Black elite. Okay, I'm just gonna say it like that. I just wish that the brothers who have that type of knowledge, you know what I'm saying, can just come down to the streets and just give it to us some kind of way. I don't care how we can do it or whatever. But they need to connect with us. They don't connect with us. They drive right past us and act like we don't exist. So they need to connect with us some kind of way and teach us the steps we can somehow give them that love. I mean, all of us can't go to a Black college and join a fraternity and learn all the special things that we're supposed to know in order to get in those positions. But at least you can teach us a few things so we can join those other 27 brothers and be that stronghold so we can all move forward. I think that's what needs to take place. And also with the sisters also. I mean, there needs to be a strong sisterhood as well. But that's what needs to go on, man, because that's not happening right now in the Ville. It's not. It's clearly not. It's either you got it or you don't.
But you know, let me ask you something. The young brothers in the Ville, as you stated,
yeah.
What if the young brothers there would organize I'm not saying that they're not, I'm just saying, let's say, for example, they organize themselves and they say, you know what, we're going to take power from these old heads. We're going to power ourselves. We got the numbers over the old heads. No disrespect to the older generation, but what I'm saying, sometimes you got to take power, because one of the problems we have when it comes to Black male leadership is that we get into this situation where we get a position of power. And because Black men have always been thriving to be recognized, to be in power, when we get in a position, we want to be in a position until we damn near a skeleton. That when you look at like African leadership or Black people all over the country, we stay in these positions forever and don't groom and train a young brother or sister coming from behind. Look at Jesse Jackson. Who has he groomed? Look at and not that I find that not that I think that these individuals are my leader. I'm just using them for examples because they're always the prominent ones in our face on television. But Al Sharpton than any of these individuals, who in the hell are they grooming so that when they die, there's somebody to take over? The young brother who's ready to go, who's got a young vision. Because a lot of
I think the only thing Al Sharpton grooming is that old ass perm on his head. But anyway,
and he's taking pictures. Y'all seen that picture on my thing? He's taking pictures. He's taking selfies with his shorts, with his bony little legs. You know.
basically what them coons is doing, because that's exactly what's going on.
Okay.
They're basically just reaching back in the pool they come from.
My retrospect is on the younger generation and all, bro, is like, it's not the fact that they forget where they come from. They forget to help the ones that came from where they from, where they at. They forget to go, you know, like, for instance, Clinton Dix, free safety for the Green Bay Packers. He's from Eatonville. You know what I mean?
Yep, Clinton Dix, yep.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, he has his grandmother that stays around. I forgot, stays somewhere in Carolina Park. I forgot. But yeah, he's, you know what I mean? He has relatives there and stuff like that. It's not that they forget where they come from. They just forget to help the situation, you know what I mean? To help brothers to get out of the same situation and be where they are, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what a lot of things, the problem is. It's not that the generation forgets their roots. They just, well, I guess in a sense they do kind of forget.
Well, if you live in a place such as the place that you both have lived in, and then you go out elsewhere and you never go back and connect, then in some sense you have left. If you never take the time to reconnect at some point in time. But you know,
I don't necessarily blame them for that, but you know what I mean? It's just, it's more than when you teach, it's kind of instilling integrity into your children. That's all it is.
It's true. It's like the Jeffersons mentality. It's the I'm moving on up, right? I'm moving on up, turn my back, keep moving forward to a high deluxe apartment in the sky. That's my version. So
it's basically like it's like a reverse crab in the barrel mentality. Like, you know, that old sign that says, help him up, he ain't heavy. There's not enough of them doing that. But I wanted to say something that Keith Newsom said earlier tonight about decentralized leadership. And I get that. You know, like, instead of just having one leader, have a whole bunch of people. And then when one head goes, another one comes up in his place, and then another one, and then another one. That there's not one central leader that people look to.
That's what I meant when I was talking about Aaron. How we don't have anybody. I don't see anybody being groomed, right?
Yeah.
One of these Black leaders, like for example, brother Marion Barry, who I thought was the only real Black mayor we've ever had in this whole damn country, outside of a few, but he really did something for Black folks in D.C.
Harold Washington.
Harold Washington, yes. I no disrespect to Harold Washington either. But
he was the mayor when I was in Chicago.
The problem I have with this real Aaron Collins is that Brother Barry, Harold Washington, they both passed away. Say what you will about his personal demons. Nobody's perfect. But at the end of the day, when they both passed away, where was the groomed brothers or sisters to take their place? Where is there should be a groomed Marion Barry in DC right now.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that info, man. Because after Harold Washington passed, we had Mayor Mumbles. That's who we call Eugene Sawyer, and we know he was. I mean, he did his best, but he really didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah. We had that jack-a-leg individual in Philadelphia who put the fire on the MOVE organization. I watched Wilson Good in high school.
That was crazy.
Yeah, Wilson Good. I didn't even know he was like that. I didn't even know that was him that did that, man.
He made the call on that. He made the call on that. I watched that. I peeped that out when I was in high school, man. That was very emotional. And I had a chance to meet a sister who was a part of that organization. She still had the burns and scars all over her body.
Wasn't that like Pamela Africa? Wasn't that her?
I met her. She was at my school years ago, brother. I met her back in the early 90s, and she peeped me game about all of that, man. That Negro put that, man. I'm gonna get upset. This is a damn shame. This doesn't say that. This is it's a damn shame. But brothers, what other insight can you give us into Eatonville that you haven't already touched on? Good or bad?
We could talk about the Ville all day, man. But I do want to tell you guys, man, to check out
Go right ahead.
Walk anywhere and have to catch a ride almost.
Okay. Brother Healthy, what was you gonna say, brother?
I want everyone, if you can, we have a Rebuild Eatonville movement going on Facebook. Like the page if you can, check out what's going on.
Okay,
it's Rebuild Eatonville.
Okay, so Rebuild Eatonville?
Yeah.
Okay, if somebody in the chat, if I can find that. Rebuild Eatonville. I'm gonna see if I can find it and I'll put it in the chat. Rebuild Eatonville. Interesting.
Yeah, man. We trying to get everything back together, man. You know, we're trying to do it, man. At least we having a conversation about it.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, we don't get recognition. People just not catching on to Eatonville, man. Like I was saying earlier, man. When I talk to people from other parts of the country or the world, it's like I tell them about where I'm from in Eatonville and the history and all that. They have no idea, but I have to tell them by way of like, okay, you know Zora Neale Hurston? They be like, yeah, you know where she from? Harlem? Nah, she from Eatonville, man. She from the crib. That's the only way I can like let them know what's going on here. I have to tell them like the celebrities that's from here. That's the only way. You know what I'm saying? And they did her dirty, by the way. People want to celebrate Zora Neale and all that today, but when she was out writing her voodoo stories and all the things that she was into back in the day, and Harlem Renaissance and all that good things, the church really wasn't rocking with her like that over here in the Ville. I'm gonna put the story out there because ain't nobody gonna say it like that for real.
Okay, so the historical point of view that I gave tonight, and you had the sister in that video that I played saying how, you know, in those videos they kept talking about, they kept showing her and the Zoe.
Oh yeah, they love it. They love her today. You know why? Because it's a beautiful story today, but when she was alive, you know what I'm saying, she didn't get the love like she was supposed to.
Hey, Brother Tone, you're right. It seems like that's what happens. People die when they're alive, they're not appreciated, and then when they pass away.
I mean, that's like the history of most black people. The most black Hispanic people aren't celebrated till after they're dead. You got Muhammad Ali. He was okay, but until he died, he was the greatest. He was alive, he was one of the greats.
I understand. Wow. But it's crazy. But if you guys want to come down, please. If you want to come down, I would say come during the Zora Neale Hurston Festival.
Okay.
Buy all her books on display. You know what I'm saying?
When
just support.
When exactly is the festival? Put that if you can. When is it usually? What time of month and year? Or what time of month of every year do they usually have that?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now because they changed the dates a lot.
I just found it. Rebuild Eatonville. So I'm going to put this in the chat room. I just pulled it up. I'm going to hit like so I can join in on this.
Yeah, please.
I'm going to pull the actual page up, and I'm going to put the link in the chat room for everybody. But Brenda Johnson.
Wait for that, man.
Yeah. Brenda Johnson, you've been very patient, sister. You got anything you want to add? You've been hearing the discussion and everything, sister. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I've been on the phone. I got a phone call from a friend. So
that's important. That's important too, you know.
The festival is January 26th. That's when it's coming.
So Eatonville, Zoya, the festival in her honor is every February, you said?
January 26th next year. 26th through the 3rd.
The 23rd. Is it always on the 23rd of every year?
January 26th through February 3rd.
Okay. Oh yeah,
I didn't after the Martin Luther King parade.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and also come. Oh yeah, the parade. You got to come for the parade now. So
okay.
yeah,
wow.
For the parade too. That's just as big, to be honest with you.
Hey brother, what I'm gonna need you to do for me, Healthy, I'm gonna have to some kind of way. I got Brother Tone is in my Google contacts, brother. I'm gonna have to get your email or have you email me or something so I can be able to stay in contact with you.
Yeah, definitely.
But let me drop this link in the chat room for everybody to go to that page and support what's going on. And because like these brothers said, that Eatonville is a black town, the oldest in the country, 130 years old, still exists today, and still don't know about this place. I mean, this was a discovery by accident for me personally.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, I want to salute Brother Tone real quick. I didn't get a chance to say hello to you, brother. You know, we were having a hard time trying to get you in the chat, but greetings, brother.
So let me see if I can I'm here, brother. Tone, say something, brother, that you I think Brother Aaron Collins was trying to give you respect, brother. He was he had good words to say. Let me see.
I was just saying salute to you, brother. I didn't get a chance to speak to you earlier because we were trying to get you in the chat, but welcome and appreciate you coming on.
Okay, good folks.
Appreciate it. Glad to have you.
No problem, brother. Anytime. Okay, folks, I'm putting this into the chat room. This is the Eatonville Facebook page. Go to that page, check it out. See, did this thing go in there? I'm gonna have to click it in there one more time. It's not in there. It's not in there yet, folks. I'm gonna put it in. I'm having some technical difficulties with my computers.
I also put the link in for the Zora Festival.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just check out. Yeah,
put whatever links you want in there.
You guys, check out that page, man. Yeah, that'll keep you updated on and everything. And it sucks they're making people pay to get into the festival. Like that's been crazy for the past 2 or 3 years, but before then it was all wide open, man. It was black love, but now everything is like sponsored. See, that's how they doing it, man. It's like it's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. But still, you guys come down to check it out, please, man. Please check it out.
Wow.
Definitely, man.
Just having. Let me see if I can pull this up on here and do it off of this computer. Might be easier because my other computer is kind of giving me some hard time for whatever reason. Let me see if I can put it in there again. Wow.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Go right ahead, brother. I'm just trying to put
everybody on the panel, man. Everybody, like, what type of businesses can we bring to a community like this besides what we already know that's in black communities? I mean, we have the Crab Shack, we have the few barbershops. That's pretty much all soul food restaurant. I mean, what else can we do?
Well, brother, let me ask you, because you're from there.
Right.
What do you think, based on your experience, and that Eaton really needs? Like, for example, do you got a black bank?
No, fuck no. Sorry to curse, but no, we don't have nothing that resembles a bank. No, I wish we did. Fuck, that'll be a beautiful situation. But
start with a black movie theater.
Oh man,
black movie theater.
That'll be lovely.
You know what? I was just thinking that too. You said about it because I'm in the filmmaking. I mean, living here in LA. You said about Full Sail earlier. I have heard of Full Sail.
Right.
And get some black directors to maybe shoot some projects there.
Yeah, you're right. That'll be lovely.
I wouldn't mind shooting. I wouldn't mind coming all the way from California to shoot some there. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey,
that's what I'm thinking, man.
Hey, Aaron, you should do, go do a documentary there. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I was Brenda, you did take the words right out of my mouth. But I'm trying to do something different, like, because with the videos that Infoman just showed, I want to do something a little bit different. I don't want to necessarily seem like I'm biting off of them. I want to do something a little bit different. I don't know exactly what, but a little bit different.
Oh, I'm sure you'll come up with something cool.
You're creative, Aaron. Do whatever is gonna work, brother. But I think that would be credible to do documentaries. And also, when we talk about Hollywood, I think that the leadership at Eatonville should try to make contact with people in Hollywood, because that scenery and the way the town looks is perfect for filming movies and it's a perfect landscape for it.
Yeah, a lot of things got updated, man. Keeping it very beautiful.
And if you can't find someone in Hollywood, DIY. Do it yourself. Okay, well, okay, fine.
I would love to see some, because Oprah Winfrey, she does, I call it historically black coon dramas. I get tired of that shit. Oh Jesus. The last thing she did about the sister that had
Brenda, she's got to have something for her Book of the Year award club, whatever she calls that.
Coon Book of the Year.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah. School Book of the Year. I don't know.
It's coon. It's always coon. No matter what. No matter what she touches, it turns to coon. But
just so you know, I did put successfully the Eaton Facebook page in the chat room. So folks, make sure if you haven't already, make sure you give it a try, connect to that page. Very important. I put it in there a couple of times, so enjoy that.
Hey, I just thought of a good name for a movie. It would be probably a comedy.
Let me give a little love to folks in the chat room. We got Mitch in there, King Wage, exposing fake pro-black. Got my sister, Miss Jet, who's been rocking with me since the very beginning. Brenda, of course, Johnson's in there. Brother Duvian. And we got our surprise guest tonight, Brother Healthy, and we got Brother Tone that's on the other line on my phone who's been talking to you folks out there. And then we got Brother Unseeking One.
I've been wanting to tell you information, man.
Go right ahead, brother.
You just unfamiliar with the name. I usually go by Antonio McCrae.
Oh, okay. God, now I know who you are, brother. Y'all brothers be coming in here with all that stealth name changes and stealth changes of the avatar.
Fans watching, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you, brother. Unsinking One, King Wage, everybody in the chat room is lovely to have y'all here. Roseanne, good to see you in there. She said Malcolm X was close to having us unified. Yes, he did. He was trying to unify us as a complete global community. That's why they had to do what they did to him, which was completely wrong. But that's what they do. Remember, J. Edgar Hoover said that he would not allow there to be a black messiah.
Right.
Any black leader. And there's another, I'm probably going to have to, I don't know, I'll see if I can do it tomorrow or Sunday. I still have to get into this memoranda from Carter's administration that shows how they're trying to keep black people from connecting with our people in the diaspora of the world. Black folks in Africa, black folks everywhere in the world don't want us connecting with each other. They want to keep us separated and divide us. COG, what's up, COG? I see you in the chat room, brother. Welcome.
Oh, that was a question I wanted to ask earlier. What is Eatonville in relation to historical Florida towns such as Rosewood? How would you compare it?
I don't think Rosewood was incorporated like Eatonville is, man. I just think Rosewood was just like.
I can't really relate to that because I'm not really from there. I can only tell you about the story. But Rosewood is worse than as far as racial issues.
Yeah.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
And then white folks live in Rosewood too.
I think they lived in the next town over, I think, but they were just jealous of the black citizens of Rosewood.
Yeah. They lived in a whole different town, but they were all, this is very important. They were always jealous. Just like folks were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the Black Wall Street. They were always jealous because the people in Rosewood had actually more than even the whites had. But what makes Eatonville very unique, though, Brother Collins, is that yes, he's correct. It's the only black community that was incorporated.
Yeah, we were incorporated, man. But I don't think we had more than our white neighbors. Nah, we didn't have it like we didn't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? We was left to our own devices, but nah, we didn't have the big grand piano and all that. And nah, it wasn't nothing like that going on. A lot of people built their own homes back then, and we just stuck to ourselves, man. We just went to church and went home, and that was pretty much it. That was the life in the Ville back in the day.
And I think so much that the whites were not just jealous because they had something, and not only that, but it's just basically that the black citizens just ignored them. Pretty much. And the whites feel that you're supposed to acknowledge us every time you see us.
And the movie was actually prettier than what actually happened. But the truth behind that story is they just needed a motive to get rid of, because they discovered that the black people in Rosewood didn't need, because they had their own resources.
Bingo.
And they were living exactly. You know what I mean? They basically didn't need them.
They were self-sustained.
Right. And all they needed was a lie. And the sad part was they knew it was a lie, but it was a lie that couldn't be proven. So that's what they needed to basically get them out of it.
Okay.
It's never been the same.
Wow. Well, I'm going to put a crescendo on the program tonight, but I want to give everybody a chance to give their last words. I feel that it was meant to be that you brothers connect on here like you did tonight, because what you did is you brought more, you made this video tonight more legitimate, because what I've talked about the historical stuff that was factual, and then I get two brothers on here that have actually, one who grew up there and a brother who's had, Brother Tone, you said you lived there when you were 11 years old, brother?
That's correct.
So what you've done tonight, and I thank you, you've given the video more legitimacy because I've got people who actually been there, are there, telling me how it really is. So that gives the video more legitimacy, street cred, as they would say. You brothers brought the street cred tonight. I appreciate that. I didn't expect this was going to happen, but like I said, I don't believe in coincidence, brother. It was meant. See, we're spiritual people. This was meant for us to connect.
Yeah, definitely.
Let me go ahead and let the brothers.
I was laying down on my bed, bro, and I was just talking about support to the brother. Get him a like real quick, and then I was out of here. Then I seen the title. You said something about Eatonville. I said, "Well, what is going on here?"
Yeah, bro. I'm like, what?
Well, let me go ahead and do this, brother Healthy. Let me give you you can say your last words, and I'll go to Brother Tone, and then we'll go to Brother Collins, and then we'll let Brenda Johnson give us her last words, and then I'll give my last words and end the program from there.
Yeah, like you said, man, it's a very spiritual situation that's going on, man. Like I say, we consider ourselves the children of Zora Neale, man, and that was, and she was like we look at the world through her eyes, and she was a very spiritual person. She brought that to us, because before then, all we had was the church. So she brought a lot of elements, you know what I'm saying, as far as African spirituality to us through her books. So I want you guys to really, if you can, you know what I'm saying, start buying her books and start really researching this sister, man, because she does not get the recognition that she deserves. And again, man, thank you for, you know what I'm saying, checking out the Ville, man, because we don't get the recognition, man. We really don't, man. We really don't. I don't know if these white folks trying to put a barrier around the situation and make sure other people don't know about us. I don't know what's going on with that, but I just appreciate, I don't know, whatever led you to do it, bro. I'm glad you listened to that source and you did it, bro. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And
The
thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Peace to everybody.
There was a brother, his name, he's a YouTuber, and he works with a lot of independent like rappers and stuff. He has a show,
right.
And his name is slipping from me, but I'm going to be having him on next week. And he's the one that put it in my ear on his show. And then I decided to go do my own research. And I said, I got to do something on this.
Yeah, man.
Because I don't know if y'all noticed, my channel is starting to evolve and change. I'm getting away from doing a lot of the common stuff that most people do, talk about what's happening with celebrities and all that nonsense. I'm getting away from a lot of this unimportant stuff, and I want to focus more on stuff that benefits Black people rather than just talking a bunch of gossip stuff. You know, that's just me. My philosophy right now, but I'm still evolving. Of course, we're all evolving as men, as women, as damn society. But let me go over to Brother Tone and let him give his last word, his spiritual words. Brother, go right ahead, brother.
Oh man, I'm just glad. I'm blessed to be here, bro. I'm glad for you to have me part of this panel, man. And I'm fortunate to be here to just be a part of the whole topic and the whole situation. And big shout out to my homeboy Healthy Heavyweight over there, bro. We gotta link up soon, man, because I'm probably pretty sure we already know each other. We don't even know it.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. You out there in Catalina, so you know the O'Haras and all them back there.
Yeah, Nick O'Hara, I know all them.
Yeah, them my people, man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, you brothers got yeah, y'all gotta get together, man. What's up, King Wage? I see you out there, brother. Let me see. King Wage said, "You never fail us with great live streams, family. I appreciate what you're doing. Hey, I'm trying to do the best I can. I told y'all a long time ago in the beginning when I did this that I was just getting warmed up, and I got still more stuff coming. Brother Lance, those of us that were checking out Brother Lance today, I'm going to be having Brother Lance on the program in a few weeks to come. So we're just getting warmed up here. But I want to thank Brother Tone and Brother Healthy. Tone, I'm going to have to figure out how we can get you directly on the panel, like bam, in there. I'm going to have to get you brothers both back on here for other upcoming topics. So be on the lookout for that. Tone, I got you in my contact now, which means I can easily connect you into the show. Healthy, I'm going to have to get your email or something. Okay. I can pull you in. I'm going to have to probably, if you put it in the chat room, I can look at this thread again on the repeat. And then I'm doing that now to my computer. So just do that, and I can copy and paste it over at tomorrow when I replay this, because this is going to probably take it to tomorrow for the whole thing to be completely to completion, because YouTube brings it back from the beginning and works it all the way back to completion. Tone, do you have anything else you want to say, brother?
I'd just like to thank everybody, and if you can also catch me on Marlowe's Corner, you can also
Marlowe's Corner.
You can also catch me in the LDBC affiliates channels and everywhere else.
Okay.
I have my own channel. I make beats mainly. You know, I'm starting to produce beats and make beats on my channel and everything like that. And y'all just hit me up. Look out for your boy.
Okay. Is it any kind of way, Tone, that you can put do you have the ability to put a link in the chat room about your channel?
Yeah, let me get it.
And that way,
let me say something right quick, man. Shout out to Lance Scurv, man. Good people, man.
Yeah.
Lance Scurv, good people. He from the crib, man. He from the O, man. That's a good brother, though. Y'all check him out.
Oh, definitely. I hear you, brother. Now, where are you? I know this brother's still in Florida. Brother, help me. You in Florida? Are you in Florida?
Yeah. I'm in the O now. I'm in Orlando.
Yeah. I'm in Northern California. Brother Real Aaron Collins is in LA, and Sister Johnson is in the UK right now. But she's from the States. She's got family here.
Yeah, I need to get out, man. One thing about us from the Ville, we really don't travel like that. We really don't.
Okay.
Yeah, we always say that, man. We just stay here, man. We got to get out, man.
Black people got too much of a village mentality, man. We got to get out.
Exactly, and that's exactly what it is. This is a big old village, pretty much.
Yeah. But Real Aaron Collins, brother, let you give your last words for this evening. Go right ahead, brother.
Man, I really appreciate this hangout. It's nice to know that as Black people we could help this Eatonville become like a safe space, or well, I don't want to use the word tourist attraction, but like a vacay spot or something for us, that we could go to. But then I want to go back to the word safe space, because with the atmosphere we living in today, we gonna need some safe spaces.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to really embrace all our people.
Yeah, we got a brother here that says you gotta have what's that brother name in here? He said you gotta have unity amongst people to have a community, he says. And I'm sure I had his name and I dropped his name. Hey brother, the brother that made that statement that in order to have a community, you have to have unity amongst the people, brother. I agree with that statement. That's a fantastic statement that you put in there.
Yeah, you break community down is common unity.
Yes, definitely.
And and Brother Tone, you said you do beats, man. Sure, you could make money doing royalty-free music and stuff like that.
I'm in the process of trying to get that handled right now, big dog.
Yeah, man, do instrumentals and stuff and sell them. Royalty-free music, man. I love that stuff. We'll talk though.
We do that right now.
Oh, okay.
The wheels are turning and the wheels are rolling, but they're starting to pick up for me.
All right. Yeah. Like, you can make get people instrumentals for their videos or whatever,
Yeah, hey, just hit me up. If you touch my icon on my page at YouTube and just go to my channel.
Okay.
I have a couple of posted up right now.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I already sub to you. All right, I sub to you too, heavyweight.
Okay, definitely.
What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna end up looking at this stream tomorrow on the repeat so that I can just click in and copy whatever emails I need to go from there. So out of respect for Sister Johnson, let me go over to the sister and let her give her last words for this evening. I know it's morning time for her and late for the rest of us. Go right ahead, sister.
Oh, thank you, Info Man. Another fantastic stream. I really look forward to these. I really do. And you are doing some great work. And I really love the fact that we got the two brothers from the actual Eatonville. That is awesome.
Hey, this is spiritual. I mean, God brought this into the lap.
Synchronicity. That's what Takia Jet said. Synchronicity. Yes.
Yeah.
And then to my brother Aaron, I hope I didn't come down too hard on you. It's all in love, brother. I love you. I love the family, and I'm just so glad to be here.
Oh no, I took it as I took it as motherly love.
It is.
Chastising. Yeah. every now and then I need to be spanked. I get it.
I didn't mean to spank you.
I'm being honest.
I really appreciate everybody being here. I'm considering, I know folks have streams tomorrow because it's Saturday, so I might take a break tomorrow and do something Sunday, or I might do something. I got to see how I feel, because I still need to get on another topic that will definitely blow everybody's wigs off their head if you got a wig. So we're gonna just keep the thing rolling, and I'm gonna tell you something. The program is what it becomes because people like yourselves, brothers and sisters, queens and kings, you guys make this work. You guys make it what it is. I know that tonight was divine because you brothers dropped. Who in the hell would have known that two brothers who know something about Eatonsville, one who was born and raised there, another brother who's been there since he was 11, said he can literally walk there right now. That two brothers out of the blue would have dropped right into our laps tonight that we've been engaging with on YouTube. Who would have known?
Who would have known? It's crazy.
Divine that made me, not to spook anybody out, but I believe something divine made me get this information. It made me do this because something was, I don't know, the whole day I was at home, something was driving me to do this. So I feel it was divine, it was meant, and for whatever that means, hey, I hope it benefits Eatonville, because I think everybody needs to go to that Facebook page. I'm gonna put it in the chat room again. Support, give them support if you can. Every little bit counts. I'm a little disappointed that there is a little bit of a coon element, as the brothers that gave us the real street cred on it. I'm disappointed about that, but then again, they're all around us. We just can't seem to get away from them. It's like roaches coming out of a boat, but that's how it is sometimes. But
and please support Zora Neale Hurston, man. Please support that sister, man. Please.
It's a real coon-tastrophe.
Yeah, but at the same time, we got brothers here that these brothers did give us some positive stuff too. They did give us the real deal, and the historical information that I presented. I feel happy that it was on point and not some jack-a-leg. You know how you get these jack-a-leg preachers and stuff.
Jack-a-leg preachers.
Jack-leg.
So just keep that.
Oh, boy, Info Man, you and them sound effects.
My radio, I'm just telling you, brothers, know you were on radio live, and my radio podcast is over in 3 hours, and I'm at 4 minutes and 47 seconds. So let me end that with an ending introduction. Everybody, you've been listening to the Information Man Show on speaker.com. We're on Google Play, Spotify, iTunes Radio, iTunes, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spotify. Thank you for listening tonight. Everybody out there at speaker.com, I appreciate your support. We'll be back on soon. You've been listening to the Information Man Show.
Can I speak some info?
Okay, that's the radio portion that's over. I had to end that like that, folks. Sometimes I have to remember to do that when I'm doing the YouTubing too, because that's another audience that I have to account for. But and then everybody in Facebook Live that's watching, thank you for your support as well. I don't want to forget you. I know there's a lot of folks out there. With that said, brothers, I'm gonna end with my ending presentations. And I want to thank you all again for being with us tonight. You brothers, you made this video legitimate. It's probably going to be the most legitimate video with the rest of them out there now. I love it. Thank you. We'll be back at this again, and let me prepare for my presentation here. Let me see here. So I love you guys for, I'm going to give my last words with this. And here we go. Share screen. Put that away. And boom. Hope y'all like that thumbnail right there. Boom. So everybody, I want to just let everybody know in the chat room that it's been a great night. It's a Saturday morning already, 1 o'clock in the morning or so, where I am in the West Coast. I want to thank Brother Tone, Healthy Brother, Real Aaron Collins, and the Queen herself from the UK, Brenda Johnson.
Oh, I'm from America, but
she's from America, folks. She's from America, but I just had to be accurate with where you're located at, though.
Yeah, where I'm located. Yeah, but I'm an American, baby.
She is American.
Yeah,
in the words of Don King, only in America.
Yeah, only in America. So let me thank everybody and thank the guests with a nice applause here.
You after, Info Man.
Wait a minute. Brother Aaron Collins, what you saying, brother?
Oh, I want to speak to you afterwards.
Okay, just stay on, brother. Just stay on the because I got something to tell you too. So just stay on. Even when I hit the button and end this, stay on the panel and we'll talk privately. So with that said, let me give a little love to folks in the chat room that ride with us tonight. We got exposing. Let me hit a little bit of music. Okay, we got exposing fake pro-blacks. Brother Duvian, King Wage, M. Mitch, Rosette, Johnson, Minister Slow Stroker. Minister Slow Stroker, brother. All right, let me stop that right there. Minister Slow Stroker, brother, welcome to the family. Thank you for coming through. I don't know if I'm saying the last part of your name correct, but if I'm not, brother, no disrespect to you. Let's see, M. Mitch, King Wage. Sister Jet's been riding with me from day one when there was nothing but crickets in the chat room. So she's been with me a long time. I appreciate her. She's a very knowledgeable sister. I'm glad she showed her presence in the chat room. I'm looking forward, Sister Jet, to my interview with Brother Lance. Brother's dynamic. That brother that he had on today, the brother that had the beautiful Caribbean accent, his name escapes me, but that brother was putting down real knowledge on Lance's program today. He was putting out real vibes, man, real vibes. Lolodius Brown, Brother Brown, if you're out there, good to see you. I see Leonard out there who's got the little smiley faces up. Ashley D, thank you. And with that said, that's the way it's got to be. The program is going to be coming to an end. And with that said, it's time for my other presentation. And let me see here. Boom. Here we go. Good night, everybody. So thank you again, everybody out there that's listening. It's been great. This was truly divine to have two brothers from this area that we call Eatonville. It's the town that freedom built, 1887. Still stands today as the oldest Black town or city in America, USA, the oldest. If you go to Florida, definitely check it out. And as the brothers were telling us, you can go on Facebook and all you have to do is put in there, Rebuild Eaton. And there is a Facebook page with the town logo. And you can give them your support. And if you go visit, if you visit Florida, definitely check the place out. If I go to Florida, I hope if I'm anywhere near Orlando, Central Florida, that I can go and check out the town. And if I do go, I'm going to bring my cameras, all my equipment, and I'm going to try to see if I can interview people and get live footage and make a YouTube video out of that to present to the family, the footage from my experience there. But my goal would be to interview people to get their experience from the mouth, just as we had two brothers who came on tonight, gave us their experience and gave us authentic. They made this video very authentic. So I'm going to have to viral this video so that it's being watched by many people. That's what I'm going to do. That's what has to be done. And so it will be done. Thank you again, everybody. Again, get some rest. Tomorrow's another day. I'm sure True Road family, she told me personally that she wasn't going to do anything tonight. So I'm sure she's all rested up and ready to go tomorrow for a live stream. And then if possible, I may come on tomorrow night. It'll probably be more than likely around the same time. I'll probably do a 10 o'clock stream after I get the young one to sleep. That's the key there. And then present you with something else that will open up one's mind. So I thank you. It's been great. And let me disengage. And let me tell everybody, be Black first. Think about your actions and how you carry yourself in your daily life. Love one another. We need less bickering. You already know you see what's going on YouTube with people that are bickering with each other. We've got to get away from that. That is not conscious. I said today on Brother Lance show that if we are truly conscious people, that which is conscious does not have to give itself a damn title. So when we say that, oh, this is the conscious community, you're already not conscious. Because if you're conscious, you don't have to give what you are a title. You just are what you are. Thank you. With that said, everybody, good night. And I always have to leave you with my usual, and you know what it is. So get ready for it.
Let this be a lesson that Black folks need to be codified. We've got to stop cooning, love dancing, boot making, or cornbread.
That's right. Good night.